we could have open class today. But we'll just have class today. Since we're here, yes. But we just said, you know what? Forget it. Instead of even wasting time.
Okay.
Right? We're rescheduling for June 9th.
Okay, so whatever.
We're gonna do June 9th.
So maybe we'll have a short, small class today.
We'll just do class today, though. You know, we're here. So also too, we gotta get these out. May 19th, May 19th. Islamism and the Rise and Return of the Moorish Empire.
Okay.
That's lecture by Grand Sheikh David Ali El from Chicago.
Are you giving these tests or you know?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm just showing.
I already looked at it. Yeah.
May 25th, Public Relations Conference. Who were you before 1492? Who are you today? And that's up at Meadowvale Community Center. And this is the same thing like what we were talking about with individuals
You want to press record?
taking their, I think it's not press. Is it REC on there somewhere in red? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Just like we were talking about with Moors taking their position, right? This brother called me yesterday at the community center. Right now, I'm at the community center. So I want you guys to come out here and do something. I already paid for the community center space and all that, so just make the flyer. So this is for a public relations conference in Mississauga, Meadowvale Community Center, 6655 Glen Erin Drive, Isaac Whaley Room. Again, the title of the conference is Who Were You Before 1492? Who Are You Today?
That's May 25th.
That's May 25th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right? And then the 26th, the day after, we have Brother Fontaine.
What day is this?
That's a Saturday.
Okay.
Right? And then we have also Noble Fonteas. We're going to do Fonteas again.
It's not.
It's not more.
It's not.
Brother Fonteas is going to be lecturing on May 26, 2013. Emergency preparedness, dehydration, and the way to wealth.
Okay.
Emergency preparedness, dehydration, and the way to wealth. Right? And then June 2nd, Grand Sheikh Nature El Bay, Skype. That's going to be at the temple once again, and the title of that lecture is National Standards. And he's just going to be talking on what the Moors got to be doing, what we're supposed to, where we're supposed to be, and what our national standards are, and how we're supposed to exercise those things. Same thing like what we were talking about, us as individuals getting ourselves in order, so we could do what.
To move on to the
so
next
we can
session.
move on to do what we're supposed to do, right? What we can do today, we'll start off with, we read every meeting.
I've been sort of thinking about that too, about how we'd stopped reading those the warnings, right?
And it's not a thing that it's stopped.
Are we recording?
No, we're recording that, but don't worry.
Okay.
We're just doing regular class today.
Okay.
We're gonna reschedule with Hakeem for June 9th.
Okay.
Because there were some issues with Discord and projector and
Okay.
just headache stuff. This stuff, right? So we'll go through the thing to be read every meeting, and then every paragraph we'll just talk about every paragraph and how it applies to what we're dealing with right here, right now, right? And now also too, we have to consider, why did Noble Juali say that these are to be read every meeting, right? Like what was the, that's just open to the floor. Like why would he say read these every meeting?
Weed out the garden.
Right, weed out the garden, right? The ones who are the governors, grand sheiks, etc. He had he had insight that they weren't gonna do their job anyways. So this is a charge on them to get your stuff together. So by reading this every meeting, he already knew that they weren't gonna, you know, give the people the truth about their nationality and birthrights. So he set it up so that, make sure you read these letters every meeting, which, you know, as we know, until Brother Taj and these people brought them back out, they weren't being read every meeting. Which lets us know what's really going on in the temple, right? From back then, right? Up until this information started coming back out, right? And it's right in line with, you know, everything that we're dealing with right now, with people not supporting or whatever, right? People questioning things that they really shouldn't really even be questioning, you know what I'm saying? Because like we say, they're gonna give money to Rogers, Bell, you know, Sobeys, you know, Nike, and they're not questioning them what they're doing with their money that they give them.
Or the collection plate.
You know what I mean? Or to church. Nobody's not going to the pastor asking him, and it's obvious what he's doing with the money. Because they got grants to open a church, right? They get government handouts to open a mosque and a synagogue.
Yeah, they don't even need a collection.
Right? They don't even need a collection plate because they're already funded. But people aren't even questioning them. But as soon as the Moors start, it's just like on Facebook, this brother on Facebook, you know, making the statement that, well, I'm only about money.
So a Moor made that?
Yeah, a Moor made that statement to me.
Okay.
That I'm only about money.
So you're only about money?
Yeah, I'm only about money. Right? Now, a statement like that is only going to come from someone. A statement like that is only going to come from someone who is talking to or has relations with these divisive Moors that are against Canaanland. Because believe it or not, Canaanland has enemies out there.
I'm not doubting that.
You know what I mean? Like there are people out there who are pissed that we have a charter. They're mad that we have a temple. They're mad that, you know, there's so many classes out there that we have, you know, calling people out by name.
Okay, so we're not on live, are we?
That's recorded.
No, we're not on Skype.
No, we're not on Skype.
Okay, so fine. So are we starting now?
Yeah.
Okay,
this
so
is
what happened last week with the Nuapians? Because didn't we have an issue with them before with that fellow who was there originally? Wasn't there the guy who went to jail? Remember who's charging the Queen?
Dr. Malachi.
Right.
You know,
Shabu El. Yeah.
The guy who
Shabu El.
we had the Skype and then he came in here, cussed us all out.
Yeah.
And then isn't he part of the Nuapians?
Yeah, he's Nuapian, yes.
But
yes.
So what happened last week with that whole?
Well, really that was just based on, you know, we were here that Saturday, right? Last week Saturday, we were here. And a brother that is Nuapian came here, you know what I mean? And we were building or whatever, and he was asking these questions that, you know, me and Tallahassee were, you know, like, why are you asking these questions? You know what I mean?
What kind of questions were
Like
they?
he was asking about, that respecting, how come Europeans don't respect the rights that Moors have, and how come, you know, how come they basically don't respect the position of the Moors, right? And ultimately what happened was, in the end, it came up that, yeah, well, I'm Nuapian, I go to the spot right down there, you know what I mean?
Is there a Nuapian spot just down here?
Yeah, eyes on Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah,
So go on.
right? And they're teaching over there that Malachi York got arrested because he was on Moorish stuff.
The same guy who.
The same guy who's not Shabu El.
Not the guy who.
The founder of the Nuapians.
He got arrested because he
He's
was on
arrested because, or his case didn't go the way it was supposed to go because he had on a red fez and he was trying to be a Moor. And they don't respect that.
The Europeans
The
don't.
Europeans don't respect that. That's why he got 135 years or whatever.
Wow.
Right? This is what they're teaching over there.
Right.
Right? So he just came as an individual, you know, get some clarity. Because he studies.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knows. He has a certain degree of information. And And he decided on his own, well, let me go check out the temple.
Okay.
Which is what none of those Nuwapians over there have done yet.
Yet.
Maybe one of them or two of them have come by,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, to see what, you know, to say what up. Because not we don't know them. We know all those brothers and sisters over
Right.
there. We're not strangers, right?
But what's, okay, so just, I mean, we can just quickly to touch on that, and then we can get back to it. What is their stand? That they're Nuwapian, which is a form of
Their
what?
stand is that they're Nuwapian.
Indigenous, which is a form of, like, it's a tribe?
Right.
Right.
And they're just they're tribe. And that's it.
And that's
And
it.
they're not Moors, even though, you know, we went through the whole idea of last Sunday was to go through all of Dr. Malachi York's literature
Right.
to prove that Nuwapians are Moors.
Right.
Even Dr. Malachi York says Nuwapians are Moors,
Right.
right?
So it's almost like they're trying to say that they're like indigenous Indians or
Right.
in that sense.
In that position.
In that position.
Right.
Sort of to maybe get some little handouts, which.
But not call themselves Indians or, you
Or
know,
whatever, they're just
call themselves
Washita or something like that.
Whatever,
Okay,
right?
all right, so fine.
without
Okay,
making the connection.
okay,
You know what I mean?
so, yeah.
If I might, was this just a young individual who just wanted to know something and just came by, or?
No, it was older brother. Probably like our age. Maybe older.
Was about your height or shorter than you, like,
This is small little fella.
Yeah, a little.
or a little short?
Yeah,
kinda?
he's what's his name again? Neville. His name is Neville. But he goes to those classes, right?
Oh,
He goes to those classes, and he was coming from class over there, and he just stopped. He just pulled the door to see if it was open.
okay.
You know what I mean? And it was open. And then, you know, we end up staying up here till 9 o'clock just building with him. You know, but we were building, you know, and you know, conversation was good, no issues or nothing like that.
Okay.
But by the end of when we were leaving,
Yeah.
it came out. Well, yeah, I'm Nuwapian. They
Okay.
were like, now,
that's it, yeah,
we
yeah.
know why you're asking all these questions now.
Right.
Because
So basically,
obviously,
he'd probably come in here sort of just being sort of subversive, just sort of being like, I'm just a normal
he's a
guy.
normal guy.
Just
Yeah.
trying to figure it
Just
out.
trying
And
to
then finally,
check
because
himself.
of the way the spirit works, he had to, you had to figure
Yeah,
it out
to
because
fess
of the
up.
line of his,
Yeah.
because of his line of questioning.
Because the line of questioning
Because
wasn't.
for what he needs to know, it has to fit into this.
Right.
To him to get the information he needs to know, he would have to ask certain questions
Right,
that
to
would
get-
then lead you
to
to then
lead-
say, what the hell?
What, right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
from the jump, that's, you know, we were.
You were on
Because
that.
we kept watching, looking at each other when you
Yeah.
ask questions like.
Yeah, it was
What?
it was kind of silly because then I say, oh, you got this off the computers, and he kept saying, yeah, like he was. I said, oh, you built. You know, he knew what he was talking about. You know, with some things he was building, but you know, anybody can build on a computer. But then once we found out at the end, he just broke down and said he was Nuwapian. But it's no big thing. He could have been just coming in just to
Yeah,
feel
no,
things out.
because I know the leader of the Nuwapians,
Do you want to sit
and
down
he knows that.
Angle it
Yeah,
down?
that's-
That's why I figure why bother?
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I
That's what I'm trying to
mean?
figure
Let's
out.
talk about that too.
I was like, thinking,
Let's
why
talk
is
about
the brother? You want to aim it so that he can see him.
Yeah, just tilt the, turn it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Oh, so you were saying something? You were saying that you had.
Because I know the leader, the head man, and he's actually a Jamaican. And I met him actually a couple of weeks ago. He came back. I didn't know that he went away, and I was going through the internet, and I seen Nuwapia on the national television and some other religious groups in Jamaica.
yeah,
And I said, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
There were some other Muslims also who were debating about religion. And so I seen him the other day, and I told him I went by the store and I had a little, I shouldn't say an argument, but some kind of
Discussion.
misunderstanding with the head of the class. There was a class going on. I just went to buy a couple of books just to contribute something to the community and see what's really going on. Because I met, I think, one of his daughters, Malika himself,
yeah.
that came by here a long time ago, maybe about 5 years ago, I think. And
Sakina.
I think so, yeah. And so it happened to be the first day that I walked into the store, she was also coming in, so they went to go pick her up from Buffalo, I think, or somewhere.
Yeah,
And I went for lunch, I came back and she was already in the class, and like when I walked into the class, the whole place was vibrant, and I just got transfixed straight on her. And after a few minutes, I was just released out of nowhere, and then the sister came to me and gave me some books that only the Northern ancient Egyptian order
Right.
only supposed to have,
Right.
and they got upset
Oh.
because I got books that only the members were supposed to get that she brought in, and some
That's
other-
what the brother, there was a younger brother that was here last week, right?
On the
Tom.
Saturday too?
On the Sunday, when we did the
Okay.
actual class,
Huh?
he was here and he was saying that same thing.
What?
That he has this book that he got from a Nuwapian that happened to be a EO book, ancient Egyptian order book. And when he went up there, they were trying to like lynch him because he had that book, and they wanted some demand. They were demanding him to say where he got the book, how he get the book. You know, you're not supposed to have that book. That book is only for, you know,
The adepts
the
of-
club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They'll terrorize you
Right
if
in
you
line,
walk
yeah.
there, like literally.
Right in line with what he said.
So
What do you mean by terrorizing? What are they, like they're on you sort of like berating you, but like forcefully sort of like,
verbally, because they're trying to act like
Like a-
you gotta go through them, and you gotta go through membership, and you gotta go like the whole entire 9 yard just to get some information.
Right,
Meanwhile, the information is supposed to be free.
right.
And how are you getting things that you're not even a member? You just walked in, and she's giving you things that we haven't even received them yet in our store.
Yeah.
And
Who are you?
yes, and next day there was a big meeting at Falstaff, and she told me to come down there so she could give me more books and more tapes to listen to. So they were surprised, saying, "Why is she all over him? Like, what's really going on?"
Yeah.
And from there on,
So they couldn't see the angel.
yeah, from there on, she left the same following day, and I never went back to the store until a few years. And one of the teachers who was there didn't know who I was. A young fellow recognized who I was, and he just said hi, and he was so nice to me the first time I walked in that he wouldn't even leave me alone, the little one. He was about probably 19, 20 years
Yeah.
old. And suddenly, after 5 years coming back, like, he doesn't even want me to be in the place.
Right.
So I said, I'm here to, first of all, the question was, what's your name? So I said, Azazil. He said, whoa, what did he say again? The cast out one.
Yeah.
So I say, you're damn right. And, so from there on, we had a little bit of chit chatting, and I said, listen, don't school me, I'm here to buy things. And, so why don't you have this and then have this? And I said, listen, don't pick up. I will pick up what I need
Yeah.
to pick out of the
Yeah.
books, you know, it's my own money.
Yeah,
And I'm just here to contribute, I'm not here to get information.
yeah.
And probably I'll take these books and go give to some deaf or blind people, so at least they can have something to look into.
Right.
And otherwise, I'm not here for. So I left, and 2 weeks after that, I seen their teacher at Eglinton and Kill. There's a little vegetarian spot,
Right.
and he just happened to come back from Jamaica about a day ago. So he recognized me because when I first came into the Nawapi, the same very day, he took me to his house, and his wife and his daughter fell in love with me. Like literally, they wouldn't leave me alone.
Yeah.
So as soon as he see me, he said, "Hey," I said, "Oh," I said, "Whoa, are you still on St. Clair?" Because they had another place on St. Clair and Dufferin
Okay.
in a barber shop. Within the barber shop, they had classes.
Right. Right.
So I said, "You're still on St. Clair?" He goes, no, I'm down at Eglinton, my new store, the same old store." I said,
Right.
"Wow." So I said, "I had some problem with some guys," and he says, "What?" He says, "Do you know how they look like?" he started calling right away to few people who were supposed to be in the class that day,
Yeah.
and said, who was this gentleman talking to? And he begged me and gave me a couple books right away. I said, could you please come by on Sunday and point? I said it was the head man. Whoever was teaching was the man who was actually kind of intimidating me and acting like as if I was some ghost.
Yeah.
So he said, please come by, and I never went. So I'm very familiar with the Noapians, and they know that they are Moors. The headman knows that. So it's just, the whole thing is about the name.
Yeah.
Because every group have their own name that they go by, and they feel intimidated because if you say more, then the whole thing, it's like there's no individual and there's no separate organizations.
Right, right.
Once you say more, then
Once you
it's
say more, everybody.
It's like saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the land is the whole entire universe.
Yeah.
So basically, they know about it, but it's just that some of them might get intimidated by another group. So this grouping thing, this club business is a big problem.
and that's what they don't know. Moors, nationality and birthrights. That's like somebody saying you're not black. What do you mean I'm not black? That's what groups and clubs.
There you
But
go.
nationality and birthright
Yeah.
sticks on the order that connects you to the land, where it deals with law, constitutional, and your birthrights.
Or better yet, I think they're
And
wanting,
government,
better yet, they're wanting to name themselves Jamaican when, whether you're Jamaican, Trinidadian, or whatever, if you're calling yourself Negro, black, or colored,
Right.
you're still all part of that same thing, but
Right.
they want to be Jamaican, which gives them some little individuality when really we're all Moors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's
That's what it comes down to.
that's what it comes down to, right? Taking away all those different territories.
Right, the sects, and
The sects.
territories, and,
Right,
yeah.
and all that stuff.
The
And
Moroccan
really-
Empire.
That's right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
where we're.
Yeah.
That's where we're housed.
This is like if I'm born in Ethiopia or Alaska or Russia. That's where I was born, but I'm a Moor.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I try to explain to my daughter. She was like, I said, what's your nationality? Giving her quizzes and tests after I'm talking to her for a few years. She said, I'm Nova Scotian. I said, your nationality? She said, I'm Nova Scotian. I said, that's where you were born, but what's your nationality? If we can overstand German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, Yorkshire Terriers, Siamese cats,
Yeah.
we know, okay, this cat was born, this German Shepherd was born over in, where can we say?
Anyway.
In Iceland.
That's right. It's still a German
It's
Shepherd.
still a German Shepherd.
Right. Okay.
You see what I mean? But we can't get this in our heads. You know what I mean? This Yorkshire Terrier was born in Ontario, Wyerton.
Yeah.
So how come he's not called Wyerton Dog?
Yeah.
Like Wyerton Willie. You know what I mean? And he's a groundhog. They still know he's a groundhog.
Yeah.
You know, but
The issue is just to hear the word itself, free national name.
yeah,
I mean, it's like an atomic bomb.
yeah.
And to have a free national name and a free,
They don't want to be free.
well, they don't know nothing about it.
It's not just them.
No.
It's the whole nation that's caught up in, like you said, clubs, groups, and different things, colors, and whatever else they're caught up in. They don't want to be free. They can run around and say Black Power, think they're fighting for freedom, or whatever group they're fighting for. But that doesn't give them their freedom.
You know what I said?
That just gives them some fame.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And just to, you wanted to do your reading, but I sort of had this was an analogy to our hockey and to our basketball thing. You realize this, you know, when you're cheering for Toronto Raptors or the New York Knicks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're still basketball players.
Yeah.
But they've got you concentrating
And
on
the club.
on the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the clubism that they've got all of us involved in.
Right.
Right? And once they have your thinking on that lower level, it then transmits to every level.
To every level,
Right? It's
right.
not, you're honoring athletes. You're not honoring New York
Right.
Knicks.
Teams. Right. Right.
Right? But once you have a team,
Right.
once you have competition and that kind of stuff, once they've got you in
That was
in that
right, and that's where You know, the whole thing about honoring the clubs, right? It's because the reason why I had the issue with the brother on Facebook is because.
Oh yeah, what was that about again?
he
Oh, he said
posted-
he was just, you were all
Yeah,
about
it
money.
was all about money, right?
Now we're back on
But it's
point.
because he posted a lecture by Farrakhan. All right, this is a Moor. Moor posted a lecture from Farrakhan, something about economics in the black community.
Right.
And my thing was, well, you know, you're not black. There's no such thing as a black community. Oh, and they kept putting, oh, you're missing the point about the lecture. Well, no, like, there's no such thing as a black community. You can't talk about economics when you're in a black status, because they're gonna take all that economics you get in that black status anyway. It's irrelevant. The gaining of wealth in a status that isn't your own is irrelevant.
Exactly, because you're just
Right.
working for them.
You know what I mean?
I think you made the point beautifully that once you name yourself black, colored, or Negro, you become part of their structure.
Well,
I was walking by Bell Tiff Towers there, and they had black family values,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And I just remember getting all, what the hell is that? Realizing though, that's exactly what they want. That once you name yourself that, you become part of,
Become
you,
part of
be-
that
you
construct.
become, yeah, but you become,
A pet.
Opera, like basically a child with no mother.
that's right.
Yeah.
You become a pet.
The black opera.
Become a pet, man.
No one even the word black is associated with dead, because when somebody dies, they wear black.
Black, yeah.
The black opera. I said, wait, this child's mother is still alive, but he's motherless.
Yeah.
So the whole issue goes to the woman. The whole entire thing is back to the woman. Because she is the one that they killed mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized, you know, with this picture right here, I realized how much our job is. We were having a discussion, Hassan and I, with Tikal upstairs last week about really, it's about us waking up these women.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is because, you know, the reason why they have us under the system
yeah.
is because we've lost our mother.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because the woman who was supposed to teach you and read for you before you go to bed about your lineage
Yes.
is mentally screwed up.
Right.
Yes.
So
She's
now,
gonna read you about Mary
Well,
had
this-
a little lamb and all
this
that.
is exactly what's going
Yeah,
on.
little black button.
And you know, it's been funny how when your eyes wake up, and I'll let you after this
Yeah,
talk,
yeah, it's all good.
about how what we've done is we've had the woman sell herself out for sexism.
Yeah.
You know, you notice they're walking around trying to sell themselves,
Prostituting themselves.
prostitute themselves
Yeah.
for lack of, and missing the whole value of who they really are, right? So once we've got that and we're chasing that environment, chasing sex and chasing all that stuff, it's done.
Well-
Once they've sold out to that, and how do I look, and how high are my heels, or do my nails match?
But
We're
the
done.
thing- Can I say, they never really sold out because they don't even know they sold out. Because the control of the psych
psyche,
war,
uh-huh.
the psych war, the psych war
Yeah.
happened so long ago.
Yeah.
These men and women and children today are actually pets.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not
you're
for
right.
you guys, that's for the camera. They're pets, because that's going to get out there. We're pets. We turned ourselves into pets,
Right.
and they turned us into pets, and we're so, we can teach ourselves now to be pets. They don't even have to teach us.
Yeah, yeah.
We're already in so deep, we just teaching ourselves some new tricks, but Moorish knowledge is trying to teach us to go
Old
back,
tricks.
old tricks to come back home and be yourself.
Right.
Some ancient knowledge.
Yeah.
You see, doesn't matter where we're from, but we can't even recognize ancient knowledge. Even with brother here, Shifter, if he goes back home, he's an adept, so when he sees ancient artifacts that's being structured or whatever, he recognizes it. But now some people that are in the modern, from back there, they don't even know what they're seeing, they just walk by it. They don't know the significance. Just like here, we see mounds over here, we just think it's a dirt hill now.
Right. Go tobogganing.
And go tobogganing on it, you know what I mean? Slide down, the snow, there's a hill, you know, don't even know that's an ancient mound. It doesn't matter where we're at, we became pets, and we don't even know. You know, it's no different than you have a pet at home, you go get them kibbles and bits, or the gravy train or whatever, because you think this is what this animal needs that got canine teeth that really eat meat. You see what I mean? And go get this cat some whiskers, you know, canned food, when that cat's supposed to be eating birds and mice and stuff or whatever, some meat. Then we're gonna go out here as pets and go in the grocery store and got us eating meat and whatever else, not knowing what we're supposed to eat.
Eating meat at all.
And we don't even know what food we're supposed to eat anymore. Because we don't even know, we can call ourselves vegetarians, vegans, but we might not even know what that herb is, or we don't even know what that vegetable is. We don't even know what it is because they told us what it is. But we want to get organic, we can go to a health store, because I seen on Dr. Sebi,
Sabi, yeah.
Sebi, where somebody was getting some healing ingredients, some herbs. The health store was selling it to them, but they didn't even know what they were selling because it wasn't the right herb, because they came back and said, this is what they sold me. He went there and said, that's not the right stuff. How long have you been selling it? Over 5 years, or say I'm just throwing something out there. It may not be exact, but they don't even know what they're picking. They might know a dandelion can do something, because that's pretty obvious. But to go and forage and get what you really need out there, we're so disconnected because we're pets.
Right.
We became pets.
It's a memory problem, and
Yeah.
it's like some of us, our program is not even allowing us to expand.
Yes.
And if your program will not allow you to expand, it's a very very difficult to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I had found, though, I read this book on CIA torture techniques, and basically what they do is they break you down, right? They leave you they break down all your training, and then they put on the programming.
Right.
So to reverse that, you have to, and this is what I was talking to you about when I first came into this movement, about sort of being so conditioned
Right.
that I felt like it was impossible for me to see my way out, and that you said it would take time. Now, when I look at myself a year ago and now, I can see how much movement I've made, yet I can still see that I'm still just opening the door, sort of, to it.
Just crack it.
Just, no, actually, I might even just know that the door is there.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Crack
No,
it.
I'm just saying that's how deep it is. But what I realized that the conditioning is such that really, I think it would almost be, you know, we were talking to a brother here a week ago about sort of trying to run a business. Well, how can you run a business if you don't have a business education or
Right.
stuff? So I sort of realized that that's a problem too. That really, I think it's going to take breaking down all of that conditioning. You know, you can say here's all the knowledge, but until you can get rid of that, you know, it's like a computer file. Until you can get rid of that programming language and put
virus,
the other and put the other language in. That language, that virus is always going to keep coming back. I don't know how we get around that. I think we, as a group, are still trying to work our way through getting the proper technique. Because what you're doing is saying, here's the file. Put the file in your computer now, and let's watch it start to disrupt stuff, and it does. And you notice how it affects people in different ways, right? Some of us, you've talked about this too. Some of us come for 6 months, you'll never see them again. You've been through this how many you've seen this happen how many times?
Yeah.
Like this is your third go at it, right?
Yeah. It's a repetitive theme with our people.
That's what you were saying now. If you don't want to study,
Yeah. I think the studying is what breaks the program.
Right, that's what it is.
That's why the studying is
With,
what it is.
Sister Anna Eid made that statement that we have all these years of programming, right? That if we're not studying diligently, you're gonna be somewhere thinking you know because and you stop studying for 2 days, right? And you go somewhere and you're gonna be bringing back some of that old programming that the studying was supposed to be getting rid of, but because you broke the cycle of trying to get rid of the programming, you're gonna have stuff pop up. You're gonna stop saying conveyance and say car, or say
100%.
automobile, or you're gonna mess up and say person without attaching natural to it. When you're having.
I wanted to ask you about this. You have
conversation.
a flyer upstairs for Dr. someone, or maybe it's Dr. Phil Valentine, talking about the algorithm, something.
Yeah.
To me, I read that over. I said, what does that have to do with it? I was going to ask you about this before we started, but I thought that had to do with, to me, the programming.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what that is? It's basically
Yeah.
the same sort of brainwashing techniques applied on a sort of what you call on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
But he was revealing what those
Techniques.
programmings were.
That they are doing.
that they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Because I thought to myself, this is something I have to.
Yeah,
Do you have that on CD?
Yeah, yeah, we get it, brother. Yeah, we can get it. We can get it. It's when he was up here.
Okay,
So-
because I thought that that was very important, because I think that's very important to
Yeah,
us to
yeah.
understand how they are programming.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, I realize television,
Yeah,
right? Is
but-
that's huge too. That's
Remember, we forget. We even forget about what we know. You know, just like what you're saying. You know, you're reading CIA torture. Like that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah.
They break you down and then they put in their stuff.
right,
That's how they do it.
right.
Great
And then how we get
psychology.
out of it, like Noble Drew Ali said, study, study, study.
All right.
And when you studied all that you can,
Study
and
some
you
more.
realize that you know, you need something else to study, and you ask me, well, what should I study now?
Study
I say, you
myself.
study yourself.
That's right.
You know, which is going to go into astrology now, and
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
right?
Oh, that
And then when you
connection.
study that, because that's above,
Mm-hmm. So below.
it's going to come right back, and you're going to end up studying the same stuff that you were just studying that you stopped studying because you think that you figured it all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it's not about figuring it all out.
Mm.
It's about
process.
brainwashing yourself
Back
with
to
the right information.
That's right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Constant brainwash.
Reprogramming your minds.
Right.
Like, as long as I've been around the Moors and studying and building with the Moors, the ones that are at that Moors, you know, hey, we know the words, what black really means. Why are we keep talking to each other about black? We should be, you know, or calling each other by the rightful names, right? Or just like he said, if we know what a car is or a convenience, your own perfect, your
Mode
own,
of transportation.
yeah, your own personal.
Mode of transportation.
Yes, and doing all that, like, we're just fooling ourselves, right? Because you know, I'd be like, okay, and then the words itself changes the whole dynamics once you know the words. So, okay, what are we gonna say? Oh, they've been calling me black. Oh, take it easy because you don't know. If I don't know you and I tell you, hey, black, this is what it means, look it up for yourself, because I don't like to use the word black, because I know what black means. You might not know what the word black means, but after you know what the word black means, we shouldn't be talking about any black
Go black after that.
after that.
Straight up.
Well, I realize that, and gonna want to let you get back to your thing with the guy accusing you. Oh, what was it? Accusing you of the money? You were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
But what was it? You were saying that he was saying that that's what you were about. Oh,
Yeah, I'm about money because
If, oh yeah, no, because he was telling you about a video that he put out. 'Cause,
Right.
Sorry, I let you off point. That it was he put out a video on.
with Farrakhan talking about economics.
And you
how
said
we
it
need
couldn't be about
economics in the
black, right.
community,
Right.
right? And that we can't, those don't match.
Mm.
Economics and black community are parallel. They don't cross.
Mm.
They don't intersect. Right? And my point was, if somebody's black, you need to nationalize them,
Mm.
right? Put nationality and birthrights on their mind, and then talk about
Yeah.
metaphysics, high science,
Right. All
you
that
know,
stuff.
construction, whatever,
Right.
after you're a national.
Right.
Don't be talking about anything in the black status, because you're gonna lose everything that you have.
Because it doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, because you'll gain it. It's not an issue, right, of getting it in that status, because they'll fund you if you're black. They'll give you grants, loans,
What's that one called?
they'll give you everything that you need
NWA?
in a black status,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, NWA.
Yeah.
right? They'll give you everything that you need,
Mm-hmm. But in
because
the
they
end, you
know that
don't
you're
know
up to
it.
nothing.
That's right.
They know that it's not gonna go anywhere. They know that you're gonna take it and you're gonna spend it on Jordans or something.
Yeah.
You know, you're not
Yes,
gonna
some
do
rims.
nothing, you know, rims and clothes, and you're not gonna do anything, you know, functional
Like
with
that,
what they give you.
like that girl that won the $10 million we were
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
She went out there and bought a Hummer, a bright whatever color they were saying. They were laughing at her because they were like, look at these niggers are fools, basically. You know what I mean? Got the 10
This
million
sister from here.
Mm-hmm.
from
She was
Hamilton.
she was on welfare or something like
Yeah.
that. Won 10 mil, and
Didn't
then
invest
now
it.
she's back to nothing.
Yeah. Back to trying to get a, what's it called again? Mother's assistance, welfare
Right,
check or
right.
whatever.
And then justifying blowing the money so her children know, you know, not to blow money.
What we could have done with that. Eh?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not even what the, but was like, even what
No,
she
I'm
could have
just
done.
saying,
Yeah, like what we
children.
could have done with that.
She
No,
didn't
man,
probably
that's
just-
the kind of stuff we
Yeah.
need.
But
Wow.
this is what we're saying, because this is how they look at us. And we're doing it to ourselves. You see what I mean? And the thing is like, there's no, like, you know, it's like, not just her, we can even look at other people. MC back in the day, what's his name, MC Hammer?
Hammer? Yeah.
He had Thorbridge, man, you know, racing horses, you know what I mean? That's, once you get into that, you're getting up into the elite stuff, you know what I mean? He couldn't even handle his own fears, he had mansions, he had all kinds of stuff. They already know that.
Black status. You lose it all. I
And
just
then-
heard the girl from one of those American Idol girls just lost her house.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Her mansion or whatever. You know what I mean? Because
even Michael Jackson, no matter
Black
how much he
status.
tried to lighten
Who just
himself
went to
up.
jail last week, was it, what do you call
Lauren
it?
Hill.
Lauren Hill.
yeah,
She did?
Yeah.
For what? For money? For
Tax,
Yeah,
Wow.
Tax.
3 months,
yeah.
Yeah, 3 months.
yeah.
And I had Wesley
I
Snipes
was
up in there for a
wondering
while
how
too.
She never came across
Knowing that,
those
yeah,
information, because
Yes.
she's very strong
Yes.
as an individual.
Right.
And I was wondering, like I almost thought of sending her some information
Yeah.
straight to the prison.
A
Well,
little,
it probably wouldn't even
a
get
little
to it.
package, eh?
Probably wouldn't even get to it. Speaking about that, a brother called me from prison yesterday, from West Detention Center.
Yes.
He wants some
Is
stuff.
he on that still?
yeah.
Yeah, he wants some stuff, so. Yeah. But you know, like, but we're telling people.
And you know what's scary? Just to interrupt for habit. It's funny how we only seem to get this stuff or want to get this stuff when we get in trouble.
When you get in trouble. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
that's
mean?
true.
Yeah,
It's
we were talking about that yesterday.
It's crazy. You know what I mean?
We were talking about that yesterday.
I got a family member,
All of a sudden, everyone gets all
Locked up.
righteous
Yeah.
at that point. Everyone wants to start listening at that
Yeah.
point.
Moors know.
But before that, you can't tell them nothing.
Party,
right?
you know, yeah.
it don't work anyways because you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Well, that's what I realized too. I think I think you were talking about these executor levels. I think you made a beautiful point. I think with where some of this stuff was going.
Yeah.
That unless you're doing it with the Spirit behind you, and that is why this warning here from the prophet is what it is. Because what he's saying is that we have been out of line spiritually, out of order spiritually. So that until we get back spiritually,
Right.
all of this stuff, we're playing in their arena. Once we keep sending this stuff, once we're
Right.
in their courts, we're never going to win.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I was listening to another rapper saying, "Hey, you're not getting me up in your courts."
Yeah.
Right. That's where I'm now in being controlled by you. So until we can get the spirit of all this crap, and that's why some of us, even in this temple here, some of the guys who we've had on the surface, that's why none of this stuff is going to work. Because
Thank you.
Until you get the
Your
spirit,
spirit is aligned with this.
it's not. It has nothing.
Until you become Islam, know thyself,
Right.
and really understand this, what you're talking about, the spirit, not the religion aspect of the spirit, but the spirit of really knowing thyself, can't lie to yourself. It's just like I was watching The Godfather the other day. It's not what you do, it's how you do. They're running off of principles.
That's right.
You see what I mean?
right.
But they went and took this whole thing with rap and everything else, turned it into thugs, maniacs. The Godfather, they have principles. Hey, man, I don't want to sell drugs. No, it hurts people. I don't mind a little bit of liquor, you know, whatever they're doing.
But what you realize even
Prohibition.
with those movies too, on the surface they all talk that stuff, but underneath it, most of them are still carrying on in their
Right.
nasty ways, and that's
Yeah.
why it all
That's
collapsed
why
on
it all
them.
collapses anyway.
Yeah.
That's why it all collapses anyway.
Yeah, but it's not the head.
No.
It's always
Right.
below the head that do these things.
Yeah.
If the man that brought the principle wanted that way,
Yeah.
he's not in control of the rest. What they
No,
do.
Right,
That's right.
exactly.
And
And
that's-
that's why
They
we
try to
always
keep.
push, it's your birthright.
Yeah. What do you want to do with
It's your birthright. It's not Grand Chief's birthright.
Yeah.
So, and you know, to saying that, to say, you know, when people say, well, you know, these Moors are, you know, doing these things and they're trying to hurt the movement. They're hurting no movement.
Of course, that's what I realized too. You know,
Yes.
I had some problems up until
Movement.
a couple months ago, till I realized, you know what, the Spirit's going to align all of this, right? So
It does.
I can't be
Yes.
mad about what they're going to do because
Yeah.
those occupiers already know that they got your ass.
Yeah.
Right. So until you get on the spiritual tip, you can go and do whatever you want, but it's not going to work.
Even that's what we're talking to the brother too, because his how it came up about the money thing was that he had a situation where he got pulled over or something like that and whatever, right? So he was making it like, well, you know, what am I supposed to do, right? You know, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to, you know, tell police officers that, you know, I am my foremothers and forefathers, so they don't bother me? You know, am I supposed to, you know, like, tell me something, you know, or are you gonna charge me a fee for that? You know, or he's making these
Little jabs.
You know what I mean? So I was telling him, well, you know, if you have a sword and you don't know how to wield it, and you're going into battle, don't be mad if somebody takes your head.
Yes.
Like, you're the one, you know, no, you're not taking time out during battle to talk about, well, you know, I really don't know how to exercise my right to travel yet, so
I think
you know, just give me a chance or whatever. No, they're taking your head.
I think you made the best point too, and it's stuck with me what you said. What you said was that I'm not here to be showing you some way to be getting out of stuff with these guys. Sorry, I'm sort of paraphrasing wrong. What you said was, you were like, I'm about you not getting into that trouble to begin with.
Right.
I'm not telling you to break any of these laws to then use this birthright to somehow battle them.
Right.
What I'm telling you to do is to not be out there walking around with cocaine in the first place, to get pulled over, to then be trying
That's what I
to...
brought to the bro. He still never answered. So what did you do in the first place for them to pull you over?
That's right.
And then he went all over and talking about all this
That's
other
right.
stuff. You
That's
know, same thing like you know, Shabu L.
Yeah.
Right? He's gonna come here. He's gonna talk, you know, BS about the Moors, talk BS about Taj, disrespect all our leaders or whatever.
Somebody
who we
came here,
consider,
did they?
no, on Skype.
Oh.
Right? Who we consider to be, you know,
One of our learned.
are learned,
Yeah.
right? But he's not gonna talk about he got arrested.
That's
And they
right.
kidnapped his ass.
That's right.
You know, how come you're not talking about that stuff?
That's right.
You know, how come you can talk about all this other stuff, all these writs that you write to the queen, and the queen has no authority over me, blah, blah. So if the queen has no authority for you, why they have you caught up?
Are you talking about the guy from Edmonton?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You guys had him on a Skype?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I
think you missed that one,
I didn't
yeah.
know who you were talking
And
about.
I missed that one too. That's where I think for whatever, I'm glad I didn't, but he was...
Yeah, was he actually?
Oh, I think you were,
Yeah.
bad mouthing the whole
Yeah,
thing, right?
I didn't stay there.
at the bookstore. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the book.
Yeah.
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 And that's the last thing I
And then
realized too.
he did it sneakily too.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, but we got to realize.
that was motive. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? From you know, that was the plan from the
From the
start.
get-go, from the jump.
From the get-go, that was the plan. Have a forum where he can bash whoever he has issues with what they do or whatever, so that, you know, he can get it off his chest or whatever like that. When, you know, he could have said that from the beginning of the lecture. That could have been the opening statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See-
Opposed to talk all this crap about, you know, the queen and she's a fraud and, you know what I mean? Have his wife come up there and she's reading stuff that we already know. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she was bringing any information, you know? And again, how it was recognized that there was something up was that, you know, the point of it, of the presentation was, you know, what is Canada? Who is the queen? You know, and because that's what the presentation that we saw him do, that's what the topic was that they were talking about. And he kept talking about, you know, oh yeah, it could be, it's so much deeper on this and all that. So that's why I called him on it. Like, well, yo, if it's so much deeper, you know, we'll set up the forum for you, you know,
That's
come
right.
present the information.
That's
Because
right.
we want to know how deep it is. We're out here.
Yeah.
If you know so much, you know
And
what
that's
I mean?
where, didn't he then go, that's where he went into saying that the Constitution was suspended.
Right, exactly.
That's what it was, right? And that's where he went into
Yeah,
stuff
that's
and
when
then
he
tried
went
to
into
say.
his, right.
Right,
You
rhetoric.
know what I'm saying? Rhetoric.
But this is what I realized, and I want to say this to you, that at the end of this, most of these movements, so-called movements, all at the end of the need energy behind them. So
Yeah.
they all want membership, right?
Exactly.
So the membership has to come from actually getting people. So
That's right.
the way they have to do that, if they can't get it from their own knowledge, which at the end of the day you will then realize it's only paper thin,
Right.
you then have to start to try and eat away at other
Eat away
people's
at other
groups.
people.
But what happens is, as long as you stay on your square and teach the right thing, then you're going to be fine.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Just that's the same reason.
That's why I
That-
see now, in
that's
a
the-
sense, where your calmness is
Right.
here, because at the end of the day, you
That
just have to stay.
statement that you
You just
made,
have to stay focused.
That
Yeah,
statement
be
that you
yourself.
made is why, you know, like we say, law governs all events, right?
Thank you. Yes.
When we went
So
to
I'm
do the
getting
food
goosebumps
drive,
right here, feeling
right?
this.
Yeah. When we went to do the food drive,
Right.
right? A brother who I haven't talked to in a while, big up brother Fabian, right? Brother I haven't talked to in a while, you know. before anything else, before us getting in a conversation about anything, whatever, yo, what's up with Lord Abba, man? Isn't that- What's up with him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't talk to that guy. Oh, well, he said that he's starting a temple out here. And he lives in Georgia.
Right.
So he's going around, he's in Georgia. He's going around on Facebook or whatever, finding people in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
hitting them up with information, getting them to be, you know,
Part of his little.
part of his little clique,
Mhm.
right? And then convincing them that he's starting a temple up here, when there's a temple up here already.
Mhm.
That he should just be sending those people to that he's connecting with from Toronto. Opposed to lying to them, right? And saying that he's starting a temple out here.
Well, he's just trying to,
It's the same thing like you're saying. He doesn't have anybody.
that's right.
You know what I mean? Nobody's not, quote unquote, following him. So because he wants followers, because he wants to be a leader,
But also, you know, I have to say two things.
I'm gonna
One,
go,
because you're a man who does computer stuff, I stay off of that. Don't ever leave that venue. That's something that
No,
you have.
it's-
I know, I'm just saying, don't
That's
ever,
his purpose.
because, no, but you also have a connection with that, which I think is important. I have tried to stay away from it because I have my own issues with it. But I'm saying you should never, and secondly, I believe there's a spirituality in this land that nature and us are connected.
right.
Right? We have lost that connection due to a lot of this stuff, but it's here. That's why Toronto, you notice that they say that there's more condos going up here in Toronto than anywhere in the
Anywhere
world.
in the world.
So what the hell's that about?
In the world.
In the world. So what that's meaning is stuff is happening here. And what's happening is they know that. The powers that be, the ones who have stolen a lot of this stuff, and they know that. So what they're now trying to do is they're trying to get in here now.
Where they fit in. Yeah.
Well, no, where the natural energy is going,
Right.
they're trying to sort of align themselves with that, but what they're trying to do, is we've seen this before, is they're trying to make a carbon copy of you, and then say, come with us.
Right, right.
But it's not the real
It's
angle.
not the real, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're trying to sound like you.
Right.
It's like someone coming in here dressed like you with the same fez, with the
Yeah,
same, but really at home he takes off,
Takes
right?
off the
Off the
fake
dreads,
dreads.
right?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you said, the energy's on Lake Ontario.
That's right.
This fresh water is bringing so much energy, and we got other lakes too.
That's right.
Detroit, that's why Detroit's fucked up right now, because they're waiting for it to, this is the game. Fuck the places up. Nobody's living there. They come in, rebuild. That's the old strategies. But also what we're talking about here is just like a guy, that's like me going upstairs talking to Cal. Hey man, you might as well be with me because this is what's going down. This is what guys do. Most guys. Guys that have honor will never talk to a woman that way to get a woman. They don't need another man's woman. But what's going on with these
Well,
guys?
something, I was a little bit gone away.
Yes. Yes.
Because me, I'm always all over the
Yes,
place.
yes. That's okay, no.
If somebody spoke to somebody's woman, he said,
No,
No, it's just like something.
Yeah, but we're on the same page, 'cause I was all over the place too. But
No, he's using an example. Yeah.
because what they were talking about, how these guys are going to other groups and stuff and trying to get people and bad talk somebody to destroy the unity.
yeah, it's like a pregnant woman sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
and where guys go around trying to get like, your woman, his woman, or whoever's woman. If he had real honor with himself, if like I look at it like if somebody did to my woman, they could say whatever they want to, and she left, she was never my woman.
no.
Yeah, sure.
You see what I mean? So it's getting back. I'm just trying to show you now with Moorish knowledge and being a Moor and who you really are, and knowing who you are, knowing your birthrights and nationality, your ancient forefathers and foremothers of our own, all of ours, to turn our backs on that, we're turning our backs on ourselves if some group called themselves whatever, another group calls themselves whatever, and we go that way when we know
Administrative
the
function.
real sources,
Administrative function.
the real sources here,
They're here.
we're just hurting ourselves.
Absolutely.
So if they want to go and
We don't have any
and
copies here?
fall for whatever,
Yeah.
saying the Grand Sheik is
What are you saying to me?
embezzling
There's a
energy
beautiful
notes,
thing about the
Yes.
5
or
processes.
to try to cause us to have a destruction,
Yes,
or whatever.
yes,
Nothing
It's like
upstairs
when
out
I
here,
see
huh?
you more, I know your heart.
yes,
If I see you, no matter who we are.
yes.
But if somebody else wants to play a game, hey, we're not in it. This ain't a club we're in. You're not here because it's a club. He's not here because it's a club. He's not here because it's a club. I'm not here because it's a club. Because we're here for our freedom and our birthright,
Absolutely
and
right.
trying to find out information to make it easier to find our way back home so we can protect ourselves from the illusion
Yeah.
of what they call the matrix. Now everybody else gets caught up in it because somebody has this he say, she say, and they're supposed to be full grown men, even if they don't have knowledge of
Yeah.
self.
But
But they're still playing like little children high school games.
you're right.
You see what I mean?
I'm finding out, like, ever since that I met Cujo, like, and I told him so many times, and I told so many other people who were in the class that,
Yes.
Let me just see if I can find, maybe there's, do you think, is this,
like,
Yeah.
could it be over here? Didn't they move this downstairs?
is like, he has a nature that,
Check on this bookshelf.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
which people will always wanna
Excuse me.
hate them.
Yeah.
Like literally, if they can take his body as if there was a twin of him, which was not occupied,
Right.
they would have probably occupied that body
Yes.
and use it. For example, I've been hearing lately like a lot of people who actually want to become good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a problem that
The big eyes and little U's. Go ahead.
So people want to become what?
him, like literally since I came and I saw him in the class, like I can tell people in the class who wanna have his position right away the same day, like
Yes, yes.
not even tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
the same day that they came in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking myself, I'm saying, why are they always trying to, what is in his position that they want? So that means you're saying you don't have a position, and you can build a position.
Yes,
I
yes.
have it in my mind.
It's open.
So
Yeah, he's the one.
basically, you're trying to take somebody else's do.
Yes.
And I concerning about the via and money and whatever, I have never thought, first of all, where is this money? And who is paying this money that he is consuming?
Yes.
I don't see no money. I see people coming to the class begging for $2 to buy a sandwich or to buy a water, forget about paying the dues.
Yes.
And the same very ones are asking, where is the money going? And I'm saying, what money?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You just asked me for $2.
he's asking for $2 to get on the bus or to buy
Yeah.
sausage or hot
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever
And they're
in the
gonna-
class,
Yes.
asking for a cigarette,
Yes. Yes.
asking all kind of cheap stuff,
Yeah.
but yet he wants to know the finance
Yeah.
of this temple.
How they're
Have
wiping
you,
the.
have you contributed anything?
Say that
forget
again-
about
say that again,
finance.
Lord, yeah.
Your own time. Have you contributed? No. Are you a grand sheik? Are you a spokesman for the temple? No. So what
Why-
gives you the right
So, yeah.
want to know all these things,
Yeah.
which are not even there?
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God there, like literally, I don't know how he is even able to go on with his own life,
Yes.
because he has his own life to live
Mhm.
beside the temple.
You're right on the point with that one.
And this is a problem that the whole, this so-called Negro community has.
Because they're here to try to put doubt in our minds.
Well, this is the whole thing.
And this is what I noticed, it's like a disease.
This
No, I think he used the right term, it's a virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a virus, it's a disease.
No, yeah, sorry, but I mean, it's so, like, disease almost to me seems sort of like almost harmless, right? Like a disease, well, no, it's not like harmless, but
You
it,
keep
to
on
me-
thinking diseases are
Sorry,
harmless.
no, yeah, sorry,
Go
you're
get
right
yourself some AIDS, some cancer or something.
That's a virus.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Well, you know, that's man-made, right? Viruses are man-made. Get yourself a disease from nature, nature would take your ass out. But
Sorry,
getting
go on.
back to,
Rabies or something.
getting back to what the brother's saying, the ones that are paying their dues and putting donations out or coming in and putting something in the pot, I didn't hear nobody ever say, "Where's the money going, brother?" I never ever heard that. That is all of a sudden it's coming up. But what's going on, it's too bad for them.
Do you know what I think it is? Sorry to just interrupt for a second. What it is they have finally seen something positive happening here, And the people, the blackness,
in the bucket.
the blackness in their heart is such that they now want to try and destroy it.
Right.
And
Well,
that,
they-
I think, is what is built into us as Negroes, blacks, and coloreds,
Yeah.
right? We have been taught to destroy ourselves.
Right.
Right, so once we see ourselves moving forward,
Moving forward.
we have.
We
That's what.
find
Remember?
some
Do
reason.
you remember? I remember having this one class where I was talking to you about self-loathing.
Yeah.
I think you remember
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
and why I told you what that was about.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
came to me that what it was about was that I had learned this from my mother. She was not very happy about herself, and she in her own, like it's like they talk about the alligator that eats their young.
Yeah.
Right, their own young to feed themselves. Right, like this is a concept that has been bred into us.
Mm-hmm.
So until we can, so like you say, undo that damage and start loving our own children, our own children are going to start emulating that very thing, that very nature, which is I'm chopping my own arm off to feed myself.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
this
what I
is,
mean?
this is why,
Sorry, but that's why I was. You see, those are some of the stuff that I had picked up on.
well, this is why the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Timothy Drew, came to bring us this information to be ourselves. Because we're pretending, our families never got divorces before, no matter how bad the struggle was. I remember my great-grandmother and great-grandfather, and I don't care what he did, he might have had a mistress or whatever he did, they never left. They stuck together. They had big families, 10 children. You know what I mean? Maybe 15, 10 children. You know what I mean? 6 at the Nobody said, this is too much for us, we're leaving. Now you got 2 children, 1 children, it becomes a big problem, can't handle it, let's get a divorce, it's okay. I'm gonna get half of your shit, you're gonna get, you know, it becomes a greed.
But you see, I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think that was part of their plan. You see, I think in the beginning it was about making big families. Once we've got the population base, we don't want you guys together anymore. We got to start destroying you. So now it's about cutting you out real early, so we can keep making the monies off of that. Because you know that
called
marriage.
the Nigger Act or the Negro Code or what?
Yeah, Negro,
The
black codes.
the black codes. Yeah. But the thing is, we're pets, man. And as soon as we come over and start teaching ourselves, because we have the ability to have a thought process to know right from wrong. That's what makes us different than any other creature or beast on this planet. You know, it's like the brother Grand Sheik was saying, hey, we can go into metaphysics, we can go into astral planes, we can go anywhere you want to. But we're right here on this planet, on this terror Earth. Let's keep our feet on the ground for now. Keep our head, take our head out the clouds. You know, let's deal with that first and get our freedom and get our wealth back and our empire back. Then we can go into the clouds. But they got to sow in the mystery God in the clouds, where hey, we'll get it when we die.
Right.
But go ahead, Mark. It's just that going back and forth saying the same thing. Just kind of to me, it's like if you don't study, don't build, then hey. We'll never, ever get what we're supposed to get. And we really don't care about our ancient forefathers, and we don't care about our future foremothers or forefathers, or our children. We don't even care about ourselves. So this is what's going down, but they, like he was saying, they can't stop this anyways.
Right.
Now nature,
It's inevitable.
is it now that with Allah, nature itself, whatever it has to do,
It's time.
yeah, it's time. Yeah.
It's just the time.
Yeah.
What they need to do right now, see in North America, because they don't get too many great earthquakes where the ground opens up and start seeing volcanoes, lava, or going through any.
Yeah.
Wait till they start seeing that shit happen where it's not supposed to happen. They know they're used to it in Japan, California, where else?
Like, I don't want to cut you. What's so amazing right now with these drones and Obama administration, and every show now on the TV is all about drones. And I was talking to my sister, one of my young sons, yesterday. He called me. He's about around 14. And he goes, Uncle, I want to ask you a question. He goes, do you want us to start an oil field to go to Somalia and take over the oil? And I said, well, there's no safety and peace. And I said, you're only 14-year-old. What are you telling me about taking over an oil field? This guy's who's going to protect this thing? Because we'll hire mercenaries and we'll become the most richest people in the world. I said, well, And so he basically grew up last 14 years between Canada, Turkey, Syria, and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So his whole childhood was moving from one place
Right.
to the next place. And he was telling me about Obama's administration and about these drones, and they're talking about someone who's sitting on his porch in his own balcony. Or he might look like a terrorist. What should we do? Like fire missile?
Yeah.
So he says, no wonder they killed Chavez. Now they want to bring democracy to Venezuela
Yeah.
to take over the oil.
Yeah.
And he's just 40 years old. So I said, listen. And I said, don't take these things personal. He goes, oh yeah, you're right. I'm taking them personal. I said, oh, it's business. And if you take it personal, you will go insane. And let's talk about the oil field and Somalia. And I said, are these thoughts coming from you? He goes, yeah, they are born from me. So I said, make sure that the thought is yours. Because many of us, these thoughts that come through us, we don't know if it originated with us or if it was in the cloud.
Yeah.
And majority of us, when we say things, we don't realize if it's ours or if it came from somewhere else.
Exactly, exactly.
And we be saying things that we don't have a clue. And so this position of fighting who wants to be a leader, why don't you lead yourself? Why do you want to be a leader? Like, I don't understand why you want to lead somebody else.
Yeah.
That's
If you
Moorish,
can't even lead yourself.
Yeah.
that's Moorish knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what Islam means, I self-law and master. But they're still looking and want to blame somebody because they don't want to study. You know, you can't blame somebody if you don't want to study.
Right.
And if you grow up in a house where people have always been blaming each other from childhood,
Well, that's-
everybody
yeah,
from
perfect,
somebody else's
exactly.
case,
Yes.
Right.
everyone start to believe that this is natural, where
Yeah, the lie's
you
real.
can find somebody to put it on and
Yeah.
the heat is off
Well,
from
you see, I
you.
think that's all part of the divide and conquer stuff, right? Which is if we have you focus on everything else but the real
And-
stuff, which is you,
Believe
then
me-
we've won.
Yes.
We've
Believe
won.
me, if you did not start this justice from childhood, it's going to be hard when you become an adult.
It
Right.
has to be in you.
If you didn't start from childhood
Yes.
to bring justice
Yes.
within yourself and within your
Yes.
own friends,
Yes.
it's very hard when you become an adult.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
very
Talk about what
difficult.
love, truth,
Because,
peace, freedom, and
you know,
justice
growing up
really
down the
mean in
east,
the breakdown of love is about
you know, all
happiness,
family and friends, you know,
forgiveness.
if they want to rob somebody,
Huh?
You remember?
I would say,
Sort of like the sort of the,
I gotta go
but I
tell
almost
the
think it's so,
person,
I could sort of paraphrase.
let me help you. They want to kill you, I don't know what's going to happen. Save yourself a good beating or whatever.
Yes,
Just give it to them.
yes.
Because this is probably the best thing to do. If you don't, this is what's going to happen. But I knew that from a kid, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
There's a right way of doing things, even though it might be wrong. Because some hyenas don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just killed them for $5 a dollar.
Yeah.
But when I could have said, hey, guess what? Just give it to them. I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You're going to still be able to go home. And that's what we want. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
You're going to look at me, your ego's going to say, this guy might be right. If I don't listen to him, then all of a sudden these hyenas are turned loose on you over something that you can recover. Just like my ring I just lost. You know what I mean? Just like my ring I just lost. That's nothing. But I can get it back
Yeah,
if I want it back.
absolutely.
But I'm not going to lose my mind and I'm not going to lose my life.
No.
I could be traveling, somebody might say, hey man, I don't care if you got a Timex on you or a Rolex on you. Man, listen, I'm not gonna lose my life over that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we gotta start being masters of ourselves. This is what's going on here. If they don't understand what Islam is, everybody's talking about Islam, but people don't know what Islam
You know
means.
what I felt though? I felt that I've been reading every night. I take one of the chapter from this. What is this? I guess the red.
The Red Book?
The Red Book, and then I take the Holy Quran,
Yeah.
and I read in the morning. I start off. I read like, let's say I'm on chapter 6, and I start the 2 books together, and I read a verse or like a chapter from that and a chapter from the red book.
Yeah.
And what I found is all the answers, when they talk about the Quran, they're all there, but you have to apply them. You have to apply them to your life.
Right.
You can read them, but you also have to be it. And that's the second thing. So just to interrupt, because I was trying to, the reason why I've been running around is because I was looking last couple of weeks, when I was looking at our Regency here, and I realized that Tesba left, who's chairman, right? Or left, but went somewhere. Adisa hasn't been around.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about this, and then Yasan stepped down as secretary. Like our infrastructure, as sort of in the leadership, sort of there seems to be some vacancies. So I was trying to step up to help Yasan and secretary. So I started to read through this administrative handbook, and as I was going through it, I got to like assistant grand sheik. And I was just like reading through from beginning to end the different positions, and under it had definitions for love, truth, peace, and freedom. And it said love, and it described what love should be. Love should be to have the ability to have forgiveness and to love your fellow man.
Right.
It said truth, to know the truth of the matter, the absolute essence of the truth. It said peace. It said to have divine peace, and then it said also to understand, to follow all the other. The love, truth, freedom, and justice. It said freedom. And I was getting to freedom. I thought freedom was going to tell me to have, the freedom anyways, my whole concept of what I thought freedom was going to be was different. What it said, it was to have the freedom to do the right thing.
Right.
Yes.
That was the freedom. And then justice was to understand that there was a higher force than you. And there was someone above you, or something above you, that was going to be leading this whole thing. So when we get that on Tuesday, we'll bring it out.
Yeah.
But when I read this, it was just, because I've always been looking to understand what love, because I've tried to apply those principles but I could never understand what context these actual. So all of you, if you have the administrator, go home and look under assistant grand chief. But when I read this, I was like, this is the because what it was trying to do was it was trying to tell the assistant grand sheik or sheikess that when you were gone, this is what you were supposed to try to. But when it was so beautifully written that I realized that it was much more, because since all of us are supposed to be grand sheiks, that really it was to all of us, because all of us not only were grand sheiks, but we were also assistant grand, right? And all of that stuff. So, but what I'm saying was that it was freedom, and it was the freedom to do the right thing.
Now watch this, not to interrupt. Now this is what brother was saying. You gotta be careful where your thoughts come from. Are they your own thoughts or somebody else putting the thoughts in?
100%.
No, watch this. Now, this literature that we're receiving is to teach us to study this in case we weren't taught or we're not in tune with your own spirit that tells you from the Creator itself what right is wrong. That's why we can't lie to ourselves. You see?
But I think we've been lying to ourselves all up until the point till we've realized that we weren't who we are. We were, right?
Yeah.
Our spirit has been tainted. Like
Yeah.
our brother here was saying that because unless we got this from childbirth, we have a tainted spirit.
Damage,
We have damage to begin with.
Well, that's why I keep saying we're pets. But if we deep down, you cannot ever lie to yourself, because we know when we're doing wrong. Whatever wrong it might be. Murder, hurting somebody, purposely say if I was here, trying to sabotage this machine.
Well, I thought about that too. Anyways, it's 6 o'clock too. No, I thought, trust me. No, listen, see what's crazy? You understand?
That's called telepathy.
I looked over there for a second, I said, some motherfuckers. No, you don't understand? Like, no. We've been here before with that. Remember Taj video? You remember the time with the Taj video when he just when it went out?
Yeah.
And he came back, he's like, that might not have been
Us,
Yes.
We're lacking confidence. See, confidence.
Yeah, but that's
I couldn't
because
help it.
that's because
I couldn't
we-
help that one.
That's because we have truly been.
From childhood, we've been damaged.
Right.
We, especially in this society, everyone
Right.
that grew up here, it's a hell place.
And what's the Moorish model, the Moorish model?
Model, yeah, I think.
What is it? We're here for the,
Well, the unborn and the children.
thank you.
Right. Okay.
Because I find that you
So
have
they
this-
don't get damaged.
You won't even see a guy, a boy, holding hand with his mother. I don't care what age.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Just to see it down the street for a mother and a son.
Funny that you say that.
Like,
I seen that today. Today I seen some Asiatics on the bus.
Well, they,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, and you know the young man, you know, he's the man or whatever, so he comes off the bus or whatever, you know what I mean, and he's like way up there. The mom comes running, or you know what I mean, an older lady and somebody, but you know, opposite gender, you know what I mean, comes running up and hooks his arm, you know what I mean, like hooks his arm like, okay, you know, I got you type of thing, you know what I mean, and it was like, what? I've never seen that in a long time, you know,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Well, that's what they've done. They started to now take even the love away, right? I mean, I remember Granny used to be, Granny used to be the one.
Yeah.
You know, now Granny's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
but it's something that we all have within us.
Well, and I think that this is what, I was listening to a Taj video a couple of days ago. That's one of the saviors that if you can't have the time to study, put one of those things on. And you know, you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm ready, you know? But he said that basically all of this shit is in our DNA.
Yeah.
That's what
We
I'm
just
saying.
have to, we just have to reawaken
Tap
it.
in, tap
That's
in.
why we don't even need to be going to
The school, he said, you know, that's why he said, sorry to interrupt, he said that even the books, if they burnt them all, it doesn't matter.
No,
Because the information's here.
it's printed.
It's imprinted on us,
This
right?
is what I was trying to say.
The memory is the problem.
But it helps speed up the process to learn how to
That's
be a
right.
carpenter.
That's right.
Or
Electrician or whatever.
electrician or
Yeah.
whatever. And if you don't know, it speeds up the process. Why I'm telling you this, I never really read and write in my life. I never had no problems in life. I had a good life. I'm not complaining about my life. I'm here to share my life now. You know, for whoever doesn't understand what it's supposed to be like. You see what I mean? And
Well, that's why, sorry to interrupt, that's why I have such a problem with us here
Yeah.
with some of this, because I know we've got some real pillars here, we've got a real foundation. But as, you weren't here for this, but I said, we seem to be less connected here in this temple than we were when we were in that
Oh
little.
yes, oh yes, oh yes.
You agree with that too, eh?
Absolutely. Actually, what you just said a while ago about all these people dropping out from positions, I don't even have a clue.
yeah.
Only individual that I know is Cujo. See the rest? I'm being straightforward.
Yes, yes. you
See the
are.
rest? I just see them as individuals
I don't mean
coming
to
in
laugh.
into the class to learn something or to whatever it might be. But otherwise, according to me,
Well, then you're probably seeing with the spirit eye.
like literally,
Always.
yeah.
because you see me, if there's 10 people in this class, as soon as I walk in, I will know each individual,
Yeah.
what they're up to,
Yes.
that moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like to get into it. And sometimes I like to look down and act like I'm not seeing nothing. Because I see too much. That's why I can't even watch movies, because as soon as the movie starts, I see the end of the movie right away, and it's...
Yeah, it's
So-
disturbing.
Disturbing, good word.
Yeah, so
Disturbing.
you have to humble yourself.
Yes.
You have to love yourself. See, it has to start with you.
Yeah, of course.
Everything has to start from you. So you can't blame on nobody else.
Yeah.
But the blaming game comes in when you don't want to take responsibility of yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
and,
So now you have something to blame.
yeah.
Right, and this is what we were talking about with earlier, that regardless of what's going on here, right, there's a Gulf War veteran in Colorado who sends us $60 every month.
Really?
No questions asked. He's on social assistance.
Wow.
He sends us $60 every month. No questions asked about nothing. Like no questions whatsoever. He doesn't even have a job. He's getting social assistance, and he's paying his dues. He doesn't have remember. He didn't even fill out a form for here to be member of this
How did he?
temple,
How
have
did
a
he?
card, nothing.
Through.
Yeah, same thing like you're saying. You know, I keep the internet open because you know you're touching somebody out there.
No
Yeah.
need.
You know what I mean? You know, brother in Arizona, right? Young brother. He's, you know, he has you know, like child support stuff and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And he wants to take the child support money to send to the temple.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Right?
It's just, yeah.
Brother in Germany pays us $100 every month.
Yeah.
He's in Germany.
Wow.
He's in Germany. Every month sends his PayPal. I don't have to ask nothing.
That doesn't even,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So that, you know, like for me, like that's the motivation.
Yes.
Has to
You know what I
be.
mean? Because I ain't getting it from here. It's like we're talking upstairs. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Had a store out here, failed. Why? Because, you know, the only people I see coming to the store is Europeans. You know what I mean? Europeans, the only
Yes.
Europeans, and then our people. Well, yo, you guys are the ones that said we should have a store.
Yeah.
You guys begged for this. You know what I mean? You were the ones that said we should have we need our own space around here because, you know, we keep going places getting kicked out. You know what I mean? Why we need to go to community center, get kicked out when we could have our own space? All right, we have our own space now, and then, you know, crickets when the door opens, crickets when the doors close. You know
I'm not laughing, but you know, I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
You
it's,
know,
mhm.
right? And, oh yeah.
Yes.
So, to be read every meeting, right? I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your cards are for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law laid down to them by their prophet, and if they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by Prophet Noble Juali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Juali.
Islam.
Islam.
And then isn't there a secondary one?
Yeah, I don't have that book here.
Okay.
But yeah. Right?
But I know what you're
We
saying.
need to we need to renew our act and
Yeah.
amend them because it's
It's too bad for them. That's all I can say. Like I said, hey, it's what you just said about the brother, the Grand Sheik. I'm on Facebook, he'll tell you. I keep it like 5 people. Or sometimes I might just get, you know, go up to 10 or maybe whatever. This the other day I said, forget it. Everybody I had, it's not personal. I gotta just stick with the brother here. You know, I gotta stick with the Grand Sheik because everything else is a waste of time.
Totally.
It's a waste of time.
Totally.
You know, one time I was on a train and this guy, it was Albion, said to me, how many friends you got? Can you count them on your 2 hands? I was only young too. Thought about, you know, when you think you got a lot of friends and all kinds of stuff. I'm just thinking about it. He said, how many friends can you count on 1 hand? You're lucky if you can count 1 friend. Then he said, how many people can you call up and ask for about 10,000 that you're in a jam? Just to get you a little jump start when you got all these friends. Made you think. You really don't have no friends. You see what I mean? And this movement's really not about friends. It's what you just said. What you say about the love part?
Well, I see this.
No, put the last part, with love, truth, peace, and freedom and
You're
justice.
saying the love part? Or
Yeah, what was that
No,
part?
I thought the love part was to have love, to have forgiveness, and to not be vengeful. That was
Yeah.
what I got out of that whole thing. To
Yeah.
have love, that even if someone had done something to you, you still got to be able to forgive
Right.
and to move on.
Now watch this. Islam is that. I, self-law, and master. You become your own best friend,
That's
your
right.
own master,
Right.
and then if we get together as masters, we're talking on a master level. I'm not trying to take you out or him out. We're trying to build, we're not trying to destroy. I'm not trying to sabotage, I'm not trying, you know, if we see something, nobody has to say, can you pick that up? We're moving as one. This is what nationality and birthrights are, moving as one again. That's why we're here to work, to wake up the fallen humanity. It might not be easy, so what, they fall off.
This is the perfect class.
Yes. Yes.
See, the teacher and the 3 students.
Yes.
You are right, eh? The Trinity.
This is the whole thing. That's why you see, all this, that's why I can't think when there's too many people. Because I see a lot of cloud, the spirit is not clear.
Yes.
That's why more time I just want to go outside for a few minutes and
Yes.
clear things. Yeah, because I will pick up my sword right away. Like it's, yeah, some of these mobs needs to be. I mean, if you have never known your true friend and you rebuked him from childhood, it's hard when you grow up to start thinking about him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as well as I also think that they've done a really good job at, they've had a really good, they've been able to have a really good effect on not being able to come together, right? They've also isolated us, right? Cut us off from our foundation.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Right?
we're doing it
Because the
for.
foundation is the earth, which is our mother.
Well, if you can't claim that,
Yes.
you see, the whole thing is a claim.
If you don't know who your mother is.
Somebody's claiming that, saying that that's mine. Like now, if somebody claims every land, it's basically you've claimed every more. Because the land is more itself.
That's right.
Yes.
So now, no wonder they claim the land. No wonder they always, I could never figure out why they're always claiming the land.
Why do you
That's
think they would take the flags and put them in the ground?
right.
Well, this is the whole thing.
Even if they're going even though they've never been to the moon, but say they went to the moon and said,
Oh, that was
Just
what-
in case.
And that's what the visualization behind that was, right?
Yeah.
Claiming your spirit, your mother,
Right,
That's the whole thing, it's the land.
because moon is
his mother.
mother.
Yeah, it's the land, which a more becomes a land.
yes.
And we are the land.
And that's why we look this way.
This is the reason why we cultivate the land, we build the land.
We don't have dark complexions for nothing, no matter
Because we
if,
represent Earth.
yes,
And
in the universe,
I see the 7th sea is
And then-
where all the secrets are kept at the same time.
yes.
Because there is so much secrets behind the 7th sea. And there are a lot of civilizations that we don't even have a clue.
Who that existed, what
Like-
they taught, what they learned. What they,
Like right now between Australia, India, and Somalia,
Thank you.
there's a huge civilization that's missing, that is underwater, that's called, water cup. And if you look at it, you'll be amazed. Like, no, that's the reason why you find Australia also. You see
it's kind of in the middle of.
yeah, you see where Australia is sitting on?
Yeah.
Right there, there's a land that connects from that piece all the way down to Somalia.
Right.
And this is the reason why they changed the name of, because Somalia is supposed to be part of Asia, and Africa, which is part of Asia, but they created Middle East in order to control Asia.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
No wonder, you see the place that they call Somalia is where the whole entire world, the whole entire force is up there.
The whole
Why?
time what?
In the place where Somalia is located, is where you have the whole entire multi-nations
Like Madagascar.
fighting over
Yeah.
who's going to control. Because once you have that, you have the whole entire Asia. And that's where you find the piracy and everything
Yeah.
Right.
goes on, because it connects
Yeah. Some
Europe,
of this-
Asia,
Somalia is a connecting point.
and that's the reason why the place is very wide.
Yeah.
Because right now, no one, that's why I asked myself as a child, why is Somalia divided into many different colonial? Because you have French Somalis,
Yeah.
you have Italian Somalis,
Yeah.
you have English
The
Somalis,
British, yeah.
you have Portuguese Somalis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
because we have about close to 16 different kingdoms within Somalia that, like the Darwish. See now, the Ish family, when you check, the Darwish were the warriors in Somalia. No wonder the Turk are the only form of Asiatic and European that came to Somali aid.
Correct?
To Somalia. I mean, their prime minister landed while the war is going on. And people are asking the same way, what are the Turkish doing?
Yeah. Or the
in,
Turkish.
Yeah, in Somalia. Because they know. And even if you look at the Somali flag, under the Somali flag it will say Moorish battle.
Yeah, Moorish something. Yeah, yeah.
The only flag that you will actually see,
It says Moorish.
Moorish.
battle.
The Moorish battle. Yes, yes.
And I was shocked.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, you don't show me that.
Yeah, it's clear like it's not even hidden. I'm saying, why the Somali arm and
Yes.
the flag has this Moorish
Yeah.
and battle?
Yes.
Then I checked, there was about 14 different kingdoms within that location that just disappeared. No one knows where they
What
had.
happened? Yeah.
Which is part of that city that sank in, because you have huge piece of land that's missing. That's why you find Australia, India, and Somalia, and the whole Middle East. There's a huge chunk of land that's missing. No one knows. No wonder it just became an open ocean.
Yeah.
But when you see that piece of land connect, then you will know why they don't want to call this place Asia, but call it Middle East,
Yes, yes.
in order to hide.
It's funny you brought that up. I was looking for some cologne today, me and this brother from Hindustan. He looked it up, he said, well, it's in Arabic, but he traced it out, and then he said, Southeast Asia or something like that. And I said, geez, I said, where are you finding this at? You know, just for cologne. I said, now, that's politically correct. Now you know there's no Middle East. You see, I had to tell him, you know what I mean? Did you just see what you read over cologne?
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to be some kind of Arab cologne,
Right,
right?
right.
Well, that's a European
Yeah.
creation by
Yes.
Israel and Arabs.
Yes.
Before there was no Israel and there was no Arab.
Well, Arab's just a language.
It can't even, the Arabic language doesn't belong to the Arabs.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Majority of them don't even speak
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arabic.
Right.
Literally, they don't.
yeah.
They speak some kind of gibberish.
Mhm.
And the ones that speak the real Arabic are dark skinned.
Yes.
And it's so funny that the dark skinned one is the one teaching the lighter skin when the Arabic is supposed to be his own language. That shows you that it does not belong to Arabs, because if you look, Arabic language, basically they just twisted the word from Arabia to Arabic.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Because the original Holy Quran came in Arabic.
Yes.
And the whole place, I mean,
Well, that's why Hitler and the boys went all over there and set up the shops and put the things out. You know what I mean? And then pushed the Moors into the back pages while they stayed on the front pages, saying that they're whatever. And
But
then they
I don't have problem with the white, with the European Moors. I mean,
Yeah.
the European Moors are upfront with the information. They don't even hide it.
Yeah, they don't hide it.
Yeah.
They don't hide.
Like they've created a lot of movies like Black Scorpio.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
there's so many movies that the European Moors are not even hiding. Like,
Well, this is why I said, we can't blame them. We
no,
gotta
no, no,
blame
no,
ourselves.
No.
Because they're not, actually, it seems like they're trying to wake us up.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
They're trying to
do
wake
more
us up.
To help.
Yeah,
But that's why Drew Ali said, you know, if the Europeans helping me, why not you? What's wrong with you guys?
yeah, because they're waking us up faster than our own people. Our own people,
Right.
they're afraid of the responsibility of their wealth, of who they really are, and what the caretakers. I just think they're just really afraid of being themselves.
And what I want to bring attention to my people, especially the ones who are coming from the so-called African continent,
Yes.
or particularly the Islamic nations, they need to see why are the so-called infidels wearing the feathers that it says Kaaba, Islam, Allah, because now what's going to happen is that once they start seeing these
Islam.
Europeans wearing actually these feathers in Americans, they will know now that this is not from the other side, but from this side.
Yeah.
Now they know the concept of Islam, it has nothing to do coming from the East.
I think that's what they've tried to do. They've tried to separate the connection, right?
Right,
They've made it
right.
as if it started there,
Well,
which then makes it a fraud.
This is the whole thing. And the Garden of Eden, if up to now they call in Central and South America and the Caribbean the Garden of Eden, and up to this day they're still going to get married and to have fun and to do whatever they want.
Real paradise.
Yeah. in
Paradise,
yes.
Yeah.
Why is it that the whole Islamic concentration in the East, the Kaaba, and why is the infidel that you're calling the infidel or shaitan or Satan, whatever you might want to call him, why is he wearing hats that says Islam in a secret chamber?
Right.
He's supposed to be the infidel.
Yeah.
So now I think you are the infidel because you don't know nothing about this information.
Right.
Because if you knew about this information, you wouldn't have blown up
Get
people.
out, yeah.
You wouldn't have been building up people.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have forced people into religious schools and madrasas where you're basically brainwashing little kids from childhood, telling them that Islam is religion and you have to do this and so on, so on, and so on. Certain age you have to go and kill an Israel to get to heaven. Because
So this is what I've realized, because I've realized that through all this stuff, you know, like when you put it onto this news, which is all lies too, when they're talking about like the Muslims and these Islamics that they're killing, this is the war against us,
well, this is the whole thing.
right? But what they've done is they have covered it over by making it seem like it's someone else
Right.
that they're really fighting,
A different agenda.
and that someone else is not connected to us.
That's the sidekick that's really going on.
Right.
But this is the reason why, example, I want to print these feathers and put them literally in T-shirts with these Europeans' faces wearing these hats, and then take it all over to every mosque and show them, the imams, why are the infidels wearing the name of Allah?
Yeah.
If he's supposed to be the devil,
Yeah.
why is he wearing? Why is he not wearing a name that says Yahweh or Jesus?
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the president of US,
Yeah.
which you all want to become, US citizen.
Yeah.
Now, where do these people get these hats from?
Yeah.
And why are they wearing it in America?
Yeah.
This is not in Turkey, it's not in Saudi Arabia, not in
It's on
India,
this side,
not in
yeah.
Somalia,
Yeah.
but up here.
But then also too, that's the corruption of how when you hear people say about Babylon is in the West, when all those people are Europeans, right? And Europe's in the East. You know, like when they make the statement of the wilderness of North America, make North America seem like it's behind God's back and God didn't care about here and all that type of stuff. But they're abandoning their birthright by making assumptions that the devil's over here by saying West,
Yes.
right? Like the evil is in the West, and
Right.
the East is pure.
That's right.
When Europe's in the East, and these people who've been lynching you, that's where they come from. They don't come from here. They don't come from this side.
Right.
They come from the East. But everybody's gonna say the East is where knowledge came from, and then a brother was telling me he was listening to this lecture by Taj, and Taj made a statement that scholars are gonna study world history, but real true scholars study Yucatan and South America. Like the real scholars, the real archaeologists, the ones who are really looking for facts and whatever, they're over here digging.
Absolutely.
They're not digging in Egypt.
Oh, yes, yes.
And the other thing I realized too was all of this, and this is why it stuck me so much that when the Prophet was telling us about creating literature, it's
Yeah.
because we have mountains of their lives.
Yes.
I went to the library because sometimes I don't like to be watching this TV, so I'll get a book, you know, it's like almost like you want to watch a little, you know, like a cartoon, so you'll
Yeah.
get like one of these little detective books
Yeah,
to sort of
yeah,
keep,
yeah, yeah.
and you realize, when I started realizing, I was reading this one about a, you know, an American CIA agent,
Yeah.
and the garbage, and they would talk about the Hezbollah and this and
Yeah.
Islam, and what I realized was these mother effers.
They created all this.
They've created all. They send all these people in there to
Yeah.
create these groups that create terrorism, but they're the ones creating it to then have you hating yourself
stuff.
when it's
Yeah.
really them who's done it,
Right.
but it's really that stuff that they have to control because that's
Right.
the stuff.
Right.
That's the whole thing, like Israel and Arab. There's no Arab and Israel.
That's right. That's right.
Like,
It's all a lie.
Totally.
Yeah.
But here's the catch now.
But the thing is, if they keep telling you that, and they keep putting book after book after
Yeah.
book, and having professors saying this, and you go to university to learn lies, it starts to become the truth.
Yeah.
What amazed me,
Yeah.
coming from the East, and I've always, even when I was a little kid, been in the East. First when I seen Bob Marley, that was the Sea. And this was about around 78. And I began to realize, why am I always thinking about a land that I have no knowledge of, which is the West?
77.
And then I start beginning to hear Calypso. So I'm saying, wait, what's really going on? Why is it that I'm always thinking about the West? And I even began to have this fiction, a couple of different wives in Jamaica and Trinidad. While I'm a little kid in it.
Yes, yes.
So I'm saying, oh, you must be insane. And I'm saying, no, I'm going to go one day. I'm going, I'm heading down towards West. And that's where my people are. And I'm saying, what people are you talking about? The question was, the people in the West are more intelligent when it comes to average individual. They're more handsome than the one that I've seen the monkeys in the East. So I'm saying, oh, how could these people be the same people and it's like literally East and West? I'm saying, hold on. They cannot tell me that they carried these people all the way from the East
To the West.
to the West.
To the-
I said, look at their hairdress. Look at their culture. Look at their food. Look how they speak.
Yeah.
Look how they behave. Like these people are from the sky. These people cannot be. And then when I began to see the islands in pictures, I almost collapsed. I said, hold on. This place looks like paradise.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I started seeing the fruits.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a fruit land too. And I'm saying, what kind of fruits are these? What's really going on? And why do these people always look so amazing? I said, hold on, something is not.
You also,
right.
sorry to interrupt, you also made a comment, I remember during one of the first times I'd met you, about how you talked about the two people with our type of, let's say, our.
There's a counterfeit spirit.
That's
You see-
the statement he made, that I didn't understand what that was about, but what they've tried to do is they've tried to imprint Africa
Well, this is-
with a culture that is so much older than ours, while putting
Exactly.
our culture at the time that they got here. at
But here's the
1500,
catch.
Right?
That's why they always, because since I got here, about the last 25 years, I just stopped communicating with Africans.
Right.
Like literally. From the moment I landed, that was done with Africa, with Africans. Even to verbally to communicate, it's just to shut down. I started hanging around with Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Guyanese, people from St. Vincent, Haiti. Say, what the, sorry, my language is, what's really going on? Why do these people look amazing? And why is it that when they see me with the next African, they will literally tell the other African, no, you're not about to come. They will tell me, come. I say, what's really going on? Why is it that they always letting me in and telling the other, no, sorry, you're not coming. So I said, hold on. What's really, why, what is it that they like about you, that they're letting you in
Okay, so I won't be
everywhere
until about 7:30, but.
that they have? So I said, something is very amazing.
Sorry.
I didn't want to break
like,
it.
I somehow got stuck up here, but there was a reason why I got stuck here. But I was to go to Central and South America and the joining islands. I believe there are people waiting on me
Yeah.
to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I can come and tell them what the
what's
lies, that the ones that, like, I don't want to say anything bad about many entertainers who also went to Africa and brought some kind of misinformation to the people in the Caribbean about Africa. Some might be musicians, some have religious affiliations, and I find the people in the Caribbean, the thing called black magic or wherever voodoo is concerned, they start to shake, literally like something, and I say to myself,
Don't crack me
this
up.
happens also in Africa.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And because I found out this in a religious place, in a mosque, and I was a little kid, about 7, 8 years old, and they were reciting about King Solomon in the Holy Quran. And as soon as they recite anything with Solomon, there's something called a jinn that is always associated with King Solomon, him being the head of every living, whether it's seen or unseen creatures, under the command of King Solomon. And basically they say there's good jinn and bad jinn.
Right.
And so I say, oh, so there's bad one and good one. What does the good one does and what does the bad one? You know, what kind of job? But they wouldn't explain like what his job. And sometimes they will say, well, he doesn't get tired. He has more energy. So I said, oh, so that's a name. Right away, I said,
Yes.
I said, oh, who fits in that? That just walks 24 hours like a machine, non-stop. So I said, hold on, wait. Then I asked myself, why is the devil refusing to go down to Adam and say that I was created out of light or out of fire, when this thing was created out of mud? I'm not going to be subjected or to bow down to something that was created out of a clay, which is called Adam.
I just want go on, finish your
So, when I came here and I hear these Jamaicans constantly talking about fire, I said, wait, this might be the group
Islam.
that
Challenge. Yeah.
refused to bow down,
Which group?
the Rastafarians. And yes, and I said, yes, and I said to myself, why are they always talking about fire? And I said, why, whoever they call him, the devil was saying, I was created out of fire, I'm not going to be subjected to a mud. So I find out that this fire was there before the clay
Was dead.
was formed.
Was dead.
I'm talking about Adam.
The fire.
The fire, which is an angel,
Okay.
they're saying it's
Of
an
course.
angel,
Right, yeah,
which had more high authority.
Right.
But since Adam was created now, he was supposed to be subjected to Adam, because now we have new creation, which is the hybrid,
that's
the
the
way I'm putting it
That's the
on.
whole hypocrisy. Go on.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, hold on, so that means the devil challenged God.
Right.
So I said, that means the devil must have some kind of knowledge how to challenge.
Right.
And I said, why are they saying the devil is in detail? So I said, wait, so that means if someone is detailing, because the angel always is in the policy, and the devil is in the detailing.
Right.
So,
Wow.
so I said,
Oh, yeah.
So it's called shifter.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on.
and this is not, this is just regular things, normal
Yes.
things that,
Drop it on it, brother.
that's why sometimes I don't even want to speak, because there's too much thing going through me.
No, it's
And so I say to myself, these people who are called the Caribbeans, or the so-called Black Americans, why are they more intelligent than the black man in Africa? And I said to myself, and why is it that when you have an imam who is from North America in an Islamic mosque, the whole entire mosque is melting, like literally shaking when he speaks. So I said, what light are they carrying that these ones don't have? So right away I found out the Garden of Eden was up here. This confusion that they created on the other side, that they call today Asian, African, whatever they might, or Middle East. That's the reason why when they come here, they don't want to communicate with you people up here.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yes.
Let them finish.
plus the European telling them not to communicate
When they're coming.
with them because they're criminals,
Yes.
and you don't want.
Well, you know the last thing too? I think that if they talk, it's like, you know when you hear a stupid man talk, the more he talks, the more you know. he's
Absolutely.
stupid. So what they tell you to do is keep your mouth shut so that they don't know.
Let me
Let
just
them
finish
finish
this
because this,
sentence.
let them finish because this is what they do. Soon as-
So,
yeah.
one Jamaican guy asked me if we have a banana or mango or a house. I said, so I tried to make a joke. I said, no, we don't. We live in the trees. Yeah, yes, you're damn right. Because that's what we know about you people.
Yes.
And so there's a next African sitting right next to me. He's saying, well, what is this nigger talking about? Does he not know I sold him to slavery and sent him out from Africa to Americans?
Yeah.
Does he not remember that I'm the master? So
That's
I
what
said, wait.
Africans say.
Yeah, so I'm saying, and this is where the whole conflict will come in, because they program both sides,
Yes.
Right.
telling one, oh, this one lives on the top of the tree like a monkey. They jump
Yes.
from one to the next.
Thank you.
Because they'll show them a documentary of some
Yeah.
jungle.
The flies in the eyes and all that
yeah.
shit.
And yes, we have a lot of tribes that will fly from one tree to the next tree like a monkey, and like you wouldn't even see how the man flew from one to the
Yes.
next.
Yes.
Basically, it was more of a military strategy
Right.
Yes.
that the ancient ones were using.
It's called disinformation.
But the way I said, so I said, okay, I'm here to learn the other half that
Yes.
I was not. I always knew while I was in Africa that I had a complete, but I wanted to see the witness.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now I bear witness
Yeah.
Yes.
to the truth by seeing the Caribbeans and Central America, South America, and the North American, my people. And I
Yes.
said, whoa. I said, no wonder they always preferred me than any other individual who might have came with me to any place.
Right.
Like literally they will stop him by the door and say, no, hold on. You wait outside, you can come in and conduct whatever business you're conducting, but he is not coming in. So I never understood. And I didn't even have no dreads. And I'm saying, why are they always picking on me? The Rastafarians will say, oh, Haile Selassie. When they see me, they say, oh, Selassie. So I'm saying, oh, they don't see the African face as Haile Selassie except you. So I said, okay, cool. They have a reason why
Yes.
they're choosing you.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I
that's
have
the
some
other-
bad man that literally I've never met in my life, and when I see him, he starts looking down and waving at me, and people are saying,
How come a bad man?
why are you
How come
going
a
like
bad man
to an
go-
idiot
yeah.
man? Like you're supposed to be our leader, and you're going down to this in their own mind.
Yeah.
Well, they cannot alter that to the big man,
Yeah.
then it will finish them.
Yeah.
But in their mind, they're saying, why?
Yeah.
I'm your members, why don't you bow down to me instead of bowing down to a stranger? So I always knew that the culture, that it's impossible. That's why I even told many fellows, it's impossible for the Caribbeans to develop 200 or 300 years of slavery, this type of a culture, this type of language, this type of different dialect,
That's right.
this type of music. it's almost impossible. You're a slave, how are you going to
How
develop
you
these
gonna
things?
develop like that? Yeah.
Like it's, and why did your master not develop?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you are the slave and developing like this,
Right, that's right.
your master should have developed 10 times.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that that's where the disconnect comes from, right? They connected you to Africa, said you came from there, and that you, so then you would be beholden to them, but really they had no culture,
Right.
right? But the reality is they came from you in that sense, right? It was the opposite way around. But once you've disconnected and felt that you came over here from the boats from them, then you're looking to them
Well,
for your culture.
Absolutely, in a
right?
way, yes.
And then what they've done is then they've connected you, and then they try to tie that into the religion, which is the dogma behind it, which is when they're saying that you were created. And Lucifer, you remember we were talking about this? Anything
Right.
you hear that's negative
Well,
really should be the stuff you're looking at
Yes.
as being the
Yeah,
positive, right?
as
Anything,
positive.
Lucifer being the devil, he's really the guy that you
God,
should,
yeah.
he's really
Yeah,
God.
that's
because
really
what
God,
happened, because what happened was, I asked
Anything,
myself,
all that
how
kind
did,
of
how did,
bizarre
how
world.
did the devil challenge God? Guy from
That's right.
childhood. First
That's right.
time I hear God and the devil, I say, wait,
That's right.
how can God, if he is all, how the hell
Does he have his boy?
challenging him? What secret
That's right.
does he have
That's right.
on him
That's right.
that they will eventually have on you too
That's right.
if you're not careful?
That's right.
So I said, okay, corruption. They corrupted God.
Right. Or at least
Because if I'm representative of him and they corrupted me,
then all.
so that this is exactly what's
That's
happening. I worked him so hard that I didn't remember again
Right.
that he was the head.
That's right. That's right.
So now he's assuming the tail is the head. Because you can flip the coin. And now the tail became, no wonder you have Europeans up to now who have tails walking around.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we should stop. There is no people called European. This thing we have to stop. Because it's like we have so much fear. Just seeing another guy. Because from childhood, I have seen all kind of religion in my own neighborhood. I have seen all kind of group. From German to Hindu to Pakistani. I went to the different temples. Like I was free as a child, so I used to go to every community and see how they do things. And the day I found out that they were burying a Muslim individual and they called him by his mother name, I almost collapsed. I said, wait, they always tell us about having your father's as your last name. Why are they calling the guy's mother? So I asked one of the sheikh, I said, hey sheikh, why are you calling his mother? Why can't you call him his dad's name? Because if he was Ahmed and his second name supposed to be Hassan, not Fatima or Sophia, why are you calling him by his mother's name? Then he said, I'll tell you later on. I said, no. So now me, I'm busy trying to throw the first stone into the graveyard. Usually the little kids start first, put the pile, and he says, keep doing your good deeds, and I'll tell you once we walk away. And when we walk away, he says, like this. Because no one knows him, but except his mother. So I gave him a big question. I said, then why, when he was alive, you people used his dad's name? Now when he's gone, you're using the mother's name.
Yeah.
Why is she being put in last and not first? So I said, hold on. Oh. So I said, Binu, whether it's Binu Israel or Ibnu, which is the same thing. Whether you want to say Bin or Ib, which is I-B-N or B-I-N, whichever. So now one becomes the father and one becomes the mother.
Right.
So I said, right away, I took my mother's name. They said, no, this is evil. You're not supposed to go by your mother's name. So I said, what do you mean I should?
Like Sultan Abdul Aziz Ibn.
Exactly. You see, Ibn now.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm always studying things 360-degree opposite.
Yeah.
And I could never read any sentence without seeing buildings in the letters. So I could never read as a sentence. I'm seeing buildings. I'm saying, why is this thing done like this? Why is it like that? Who put it in the middle? why is it shaped this way?
Yes.
Like, constantly I could not pass, first letter A, up to now I cannot pass letter A, I'm stuck. Why is it this way? Then I start to make it triangle, instead of putting in the middle, I put in the bottom. To show the center. I said, wait, why does it look like an arrow? I'm saying, what's really happening? So the way I read things is not a normal way. You cannot lead a normal way, then you become a normal individual. I don't want to be normal. So me, when I'm reading totally different. So that's why you don't need books.
Yeah.
You are the book yourself. You must read yourself.
Right.
But the problem is that we have these things outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
We
That
think
are
that's-
affecting our insight.
Absolutely. But the word is, when you read the real word, you will cry. Tears will come down on you when you read a real thing.
Or you get the goosebumps.
One sentence, you just stuck.
Usage.
Yeah, you can't pass that sentence and say, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So now, how is it now you're reading the whole book then? It's impossible.
Yeah.
You couldn't even digest the first
That's
sentence.
right.
And then now you're telling me, oh, I finished the book. Did the book finish you, or you finished the book?
That's right.
Basically, the book finished you. Because he was reading you, you were not reading the book. And he found out that you're an idiot. The book itself, because it's now under that program you're in. So, I don't have much to say more than what everybody else knows.
That's where it comes in with duality, and we were talking about earlier with changing the literature. So that the information that we're digesting is really from the right perspective.
Well,
That's
that's
why
not-
when you check the thing, you know, all we have is Juali books, Taj books, you know, Heru books, you know, Grand Sheik Nature books, books dealing with the Moorish history, whatever. We don't just have any type of books.
Right.
You know, because the perspective has to be right, that you're the right
And
information.
that's where he talks about it, because
Yes.
because the information you're digesting, if 90% of it is lies,
then
then-
defeats the purpose of even picking up the book.
and in the end, the book is writing you.
Right.
Eating poison.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's the whole thing. That's why I always liked the devil, because he can detail. So I said, if you are the devil and you detailing, well, isn't that what God does, is to detail everything, to
Right,
show pieces how it's happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Break it down.
Yeah, the whole thing. So I said,
That's
okay.
why they want you not focusing on the details.
Well, this is what happened, and that's why,
Sun God, which is
and
not detailed.
the
God is
Rastafarian
just-
movement, although it's not in 100%, but somehow,
It's closer.
not even only closer, they are trying to live the life, but the problem is that many of them are coming through a religious,
To perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Is that a dogma religion?
Right,
versus-
dogma.
well, that's
yeah,
exactly
dogma
what it's,
perspective.
that's what it's going to be, and they had no choice
Yeah.
but to use that, because you need to use the Bible to discipline this government.
Yeah.
Because if
Because
you,
that's what they take their oath on.
well, this is the whole thing.
Yes.
You have to have the Bible to discipline them, because otherwise, that's why it says question authority before they question you.
Right.
Because if they start cross-examining you, you're done.
Yeah.
You have to cross-examine them
Them.
Yeah.
And put them in their house.
in check.
Yes.
Right.
So check and balance
Right.
comes in.
Right.
But if you don't do check and balance,
So what they've gotten us to a point is where we don't question anything, we allow them to be questioning us at all
that's,
times.
the whole thing is the quest.
Yes.
All right.
Question is a quest.
That's right.
This is what question is. You're going for a quest now.
Yes.
Well, otherwise, why are you questioning?
Well, if
Yes.
you think of Quest Ion, right? Quest Ion, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what it is. When the judge is questioning you, he's on a quest now.
Right.
Exactly. And nobody says to them, who
And
are
the
you?
seventh sea. How are you going to navigate the seventh sea now?
Yeah.
Right.
You're finished.
You're done.
Your flag is deflated.
From the get-go, you
You
got to
can't
ask
get no
you,
win in the
who are
mass.
you?
That's right.
The question is, who are you? They're going to ask you and alienate you. Because you don't have a mother, you'll say, oh, I'm
Yeah,
da.
yeah, yeah.
It's only what you know that can free you.
Wow.
It's not what they say. They can say, you people can say anything you want to me right now. But that's your saying.
Straight.
It's what I know that will free me. What do I know is the question now.
It was like a brother yesterday was saying, I was talking with a brother yesterday, and he was saying, well, you know, this Moorish elder was saying, la 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 la, and I just need to know if this is legit. I'm like, forget what he said. What do you know?
Yes.
Well, I know that, da 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 da. Okay, well, that's contradiction to what the Moorish elder told you, right? Yeah. So, you know, how does it vibrate with you? Well, it feels right. And what he said feels wrong. So then what are you asking me? What are you,
Yes, exactly.
It's like a child going in a circle.
what are you
Yeah.
asking me?
That's what me, I hate when they ask the Grand Sheikh. I will never ask the Grand Sheikh, not single question in the crowd. I don't have to, because then why am I here? If I wasn't here, that's a different case. But if you were present when he was giving the lecture, didn't you digest?
Yeah.
Don't you know how to cook food? Or were you eating it raw?
Yeah.
So, eruption, they will ask him the same question they asked him last year, and I'm saying to myself, why you, like, last year you asked him the same question. And, like, he's not your dad, he's not your mother. Like, why do you, somebody gave you something good, you go and do your research.
Right.
Stop questioning the Grand Sheikh. He has his own thing to do. And he took a time to come and explain something
Explain something
to us. And while he's explaining, you erupt in the whole thing. Eruption. That's why you give them an inch, they want to take a mile.
Yeah.
So, where are all the students? Now they're all Grand Sheikh. This is the problem with Negroes. They hear little information, oh, I'm ready. I don't need, I can open up something now.
Yeah.
And then they go around and find some weak, especially females, something
Yeah.
to pray on. And give them 2 words that she never heard before. And now, oh, this guy,
And then once they
this
get
guy
the-
must, I must.
And then once they got the goddess.
Oh, it's that.
You know what it reminds me? Like the feminists on Facebook. You know what I'm talking about? They
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to them,
yeah,
they
yeah.
get all their group of women and they just hear a little thing and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, man, just because I had this bad experience.
Yeah.
Like,
And you study where it came from, you know?
and that's why everybody wants to become a Grand Sheikh. This is the problem. Everyone. Yes, you can become a Grand Sheikh and you've always been a Grand Sheikh, but have you done your own studies?
That's right.
Right.
If you haven't done your own studies, this is not something to go buy from a store. The title, say, okay, I have the title Grand Sheikh. Because if that was the case, then everyone on the street would have had a title.
Yeah.
Like today, they were talking about on CNN about Obama administration and how the IRS was doing all kind of funny things on the Tea Party about their tax exempt status on the Tea Party. So they found out that they had over 1 million followers on their Facebook or whatever, and now the IRS is in big trouble because they start using information that otherwise they were not allowed. So this shows you now, even the people, you see how people have a tax exempt status, and now it's in the open. They say, because these things were kept secret.
Yeah.
Why are they saying it right now in the open?
Yeah.
So that means we have people who are exempt from tax. Oh, so how do they obtain this? Is the question. So I can go and obtain also to be exempt from the tax.
Right.
And like, it's extortion.
Yes.
Like somebody's trying to extort money from you. But you got used to
It's
from
not
childhood,
like
they
it
were
is.
extorting
It is
money from you, so it became official.
Yes, of course it is.
It was not official that you have to go and verify with the European if a Moorish individual tells you something. You have to make sure you have to go and check with the
Yeah.
European individual.
Is it real?
this correct?
Is this
Is this
correct?
real? Are you
Do you
sure?
recognize? Do you recognize?
Yes, like, if you can recognize yourself, it will not work
Then
for
it's
you.
not gonna work. Right. Exactly.
It's magic.
Exactly.
It is magic. Because if my words come out of my mouth can have you go 360 degrees, it's magic.
Yes.
I'll have you as a puppy now.
Yes.
I like a child.
Or,
Like a pet.
or,
Yeah.
or,
I didn't really think you were more a friggin' pet.
or your words can free me.
Well, that's up to you.
Yes.
That's how.
Well, no, but it also depends on what you're saying. Does it not?
Well, obviously, that's why many of us are confused. Like you have adults, big people who don't know if they're going and coming.
Exactly.
Well, that's part of, I think that's part of their doctrine, is to have you not knowing whether you're coming or going, because then, as I said, once you're confused, we can say, if you don't know whether this is the way home or that's the way home,
Yeah.
then we can say that's the way
Go
home,
wherever,
right?
yeah.
But if you
You're
can
gonna
have
go.
someone, like, you know, let's say someone like sharing information or spells,
Yes,
and release the spells, or release me from the other spells,
absolutely.
then all of a sudden I can be free,
Yeah.
They
right?
cast a
Well,
spell
not
on us.
free,
But you can.
well, I can now see the right way home,
Yeah, because the thing is,
or at
doesn't
least I
matter.
can see the direction.
It doesn't matter what anybody tells you. You'll know something's not right, so you gotta find what's right.
Right. But if
Like
everyone,
my, like my lunch is sitting there. If there was more people in here,
You would've-
I would have began eating it.
that's right,
You know why I don't even remember?
because
This, see, the spirit is clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
The less people we have,
the cleaner it
the
is.
better. Because that's how every organization starts with small.
See how it's funny today? I was disappointed that there weren't a lot of people.
Right?
Now I'm thankful.
No,
Listen,
you
I was
should be
planning.
happy.
No, I am, because I was planning to leave at 6. It's now 7:10, and that's
So
you.
you see what's happening?
No, that's
This guy
great.
still came.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but the less, the better.
The better.
Yeah.
It's
Quality,
more.
quality over quantity. Quality over
You know what
quantity.
you know what I seen in the dream world? You know how I always see a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The other day when I was in the dream world, I seen this park bench, and it had like you see like the figures with people with fezzes on it, the Moors and stuff like that. I seen it in a dream
Yeah.
the other day,
Mm.
cause that was trying to tell me that there was gonna be a overlap, just like how it's their municipality usually and all this
Right,
other
right.
nonsense.
Yes,
That was
yes.
gonna tell me there's a trade over going on.
Absolutely.
Because I seen it in the dream. I saw the Moor fez and all those things, and you know other copper skull or people and things like that, and I was like.
In the cartoon.
Then I woke up and I was like,
Oh, yes.
Reality.
In the cartoon right now, every night you see Simpson is wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Normally.
it's a joke, eh? Yeah. Because remember, the Flintstones used to be like that, with
Yeah,
the man with the
yeah.
same with the fez
Stone-
too,
the
and
stone
that was
cutters,
and that was
stone
and that
cutters.
was and that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Now they're showing the feathers in every corner and
right.
every symbol on the street.
That's right.
Everywhere you look now,
King
all you
Booker.
see is feathers. Everywhere is feathers. Like I'm shocked. I'm saying that's why I can't even wear mine. Right now I realize that the only place that I can wear the feathers is in the class.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with me. Because I came from one class here. I got to tell you, I met some Europeans afterwards. I had the fez in the conveyance.
Yeah.
And man came, how did you get one of those? European man. I said, oh shit. I said, oh. He said, how did you get one of those? What did you do? And I said, oh shit. I said, listen, I can't answer that right now. You gotta go. That was it.
Because they're molesting them
That's right.
to even one Nigerian old man who finished university, whatever university in France, came to my house and saw this. And he goes, these are the hats that in my hometown, only the wise men, where you get it from.
Exactly what he said to me.
And he said ours is short
Right.
because they are feathers, but this is the only type of feathers that are actually in this height
Yes,
Height,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's right. That's right.
that they have never seen before.
That's right. I saw an X-Man downtown wearing one without
Yeah.
the tassel.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one cut off?
Well, this is.
That's it's almost like he's not connected.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
no, it's disconnected.
Right.
It's showing it's disconnected.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of Africans also wear the disconnected.
Right.
What?
Without the tassel, right?
Yeah, the tassel is cut.
Especially the army. The
Yes.
army.
Yeah.
Like a testicle is cut.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
you have no
disconnected.
man who's like,
That was no ball.
basically, you cannot breathe like. So it's there's many ways of looking at it.
Yeah,
So I think the class.
yeah, we'll do
Thank you.
We'll do
All
that.
right,
Islam, Islam,
We'll
Islam.
shift
This class today.
Yeah. Allah, Father of the universe.
Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector,
My guide.
my guide,
And my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night.
By
night,
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his
His holy prophet,
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Islam.
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 And then don't forget.